Good afternoon. We're going to go ahead and get started. City Attorney, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
City Clerk.
Yes, sir.
City Manager.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Bowling.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Everett.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervyn.
Yes.
Sergeant at Arms. I call this meeting of the City Commission, a special meeting on Tuesday, September the 10th, 2019, to order at 6:11 p.m. May we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation given by Reverend Smart, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all that you have done for us. But now, Lord, as we come before our City Council to discuss the budget, to discuss things that need to be done in this city, may we have peace, but may we also get things done as needed to be done for this city. We ask you to bless each of our commissioners, our mayor, and those that are on the city staff and our law enforcement. Keep us safe and bring us to you, Lord Jesus, in your holy name. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Babb.
Present.
Commissioner Bowling.
Present.
Commissioner Everett.
Here.
Commissioner Hill. Vice Mayor Mervyn.
Present.
City Manager.
Here.
Interim City Attorney.
Here.
City Clerk is present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, staff. And thank each of you all from the public for being here to participate in our special meeting of Tuesday, September the 10th, 2006. This meeting is being called by the City Commission, is being held to discuss and have a public hearing on our budget and our tentative millage for fiscal year 2019-20. Before we get into the deliberation and discussion of our public hearing, just a few housekeeping chores. We have a large crowd, as well as expect to have during our regular commission meeting. We're going to ask each of you all to minimize talking while we're in our discussion. This is a public hearing. You'll be able to have comments from the public, and you'll have some opportunity for some interaction with the commission. But during our deliberation, we just ask you to be mindful of that, as well as in the public meeting, our regular commission meeting. We are looking to have an orderly meeting so we can get out of here in a timely manner. So if you can follow those guidelines, it would be very appreciated. At this time, we're going to open the public hearing. Okay, the public hearing is being discussed at this time as a tentative millage fiscal year 2019-2020. At this time, I'm going to lead this discussion over to the city manager to give us a insight on our budget discussion here.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, Commission, citizens, visitors, thanks for coming out tonight for the special meeting on our budget for 2019-2020. Mayor, Commission, this is just our tentative hearing on the budget that we've already discussed. You require by statute a tentative tentative meeting on the budget to announce what the tentative millage will be and the tentative budget. So this is just a formality that we have to suffice for the statutes, and then we'll come back at the next meeting and you'll vote the budget with the final budget hearing. So again, this is just a tentative hearing required by statute for the budget for 2019-2020. The first resolution, if you want that read into the record by the city attorney.
Yes, thank you.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, adopting a tentative millage rate for the fiscal year commencing October 1, 2019 through September 30th, 2020, providing for adoption of representations, providing for an effective date.
Thank you, Madam City Attorney. At this time, before we get into a deliberation as far as a second on this particular motion, we would open it up for public comments on the tentative millage for fiscal year 2019-20. Anyone in the audience wish to make a comment at this time? Hearing none, Chair will now entertain a motion for the adoption of the tentative millage for fiscal year 2019-20. Chair is looking for a motion. Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, the millage rate.
Our millage rate is, for taxation for taxable real and personal property is 6.5419. The percentage change or rollback rate, a levy of 6.5419 mils represents a 5.2% increase over the rollback rate of 6.2157. That is what will be charged as especially to taxable real and personal property for 2019-2020. Essentially, that millage rate pretty much stays the same on a year in and year out basis based on the real property that we have here in the city of Pahokee and assessments that are made by Palm Beach County property appraiser.
Okay, we have a resolution that's been read and properly recorded in the minutes. It's Resolution 2019-40. Chair is now calling for a motion for the adoption.
Mayor, may I make a motion to accept the tentative millage rate of 6.5419 for the fiscal year 2019-2020.
So actually, the motion is to accept the Resolution 2018-40, which would include the millage rate.
Yes.
Thank you.
Second.
It has been moved by Vice Mayor Mervin and properly seconded by Commissioner Hill for the adoption of Resolution 2019-40. Call for questions.
So I have one. So basically, this means that for every $1,000 of property, taxable property they have that people own, it's going to be $6.54,
Yes,
19, that they're going to pay in tax,
Yes,
correct?
ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
In addition to questions, hearing none, are you ready for vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Commissioner Hill,
Yes.
Commissioner Boland,
Yes.
Commissioner Everett,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Resolution 2019-40 passes by unanimous vote. Now we will have Resolution 2019-41, City Attorney.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, providing for the adoption and funding of the tentative municipal budget in the amount of $8,931,675 for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2019 and ending September 30th, 2020, providing for adoption of representations, providing for an effective date.
Before we go into our deliberations, I'll open the floor to the public for any comments pertaining to Resolution 2019-41. You have a comment? I have a question. You need to come to the...
$9 million budget. What is the total ad valorem tax that Pahokee collects?
City Manager, you have that information?
No, I can get it to him tomorrow. I don't have it in front of me.
That'll be fine.
Thank you.
Okay, that's my only question.
Thank you, sir. In addition to comments from the public. Hearing none, I'm going to close the public hearing on that session. City Commission, having had Resolution 2018-41 properly read into the minutes, what's your pleasure?
Mayor, I make a motion to accept the tentative budget for the fiscal year 2019-2020, resolution 2019-41. Second?
It has been moved by Vice Mayor Mervin and properly seconded by Commissioner Hill for the adoption of Resolution 2019-41. Call for questions.
I have a couple. Okay, on this, it says, first it says that we have a tentative budget of $3,929,007. And then on the back, it says, where does it say, $8 million or $9 million someplace else? That was on the other one? Okay. Yeah, okay, so on that, it says, how come it says $8,931,675? I'm confused.
Commissioner Bowling, the tentative budget for general fund for the city of Pahokee for 2019-2020 is $3.9 million. However, when we have the Barfield project coming up for $4.5 million, you have to include that for the 2019-2020 budget. That's why your budget goes from 3.9 to almost $8 million, because we're adding $4.4 million to the operational budget for capital improvements for Barfield Highway.
Okay, so we're just adding in the grant, and that's where we're coming up with the number.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then one other quick question. It says that we're going to appropriate $5,000 from the Henderson Endowment Special Revenue Fund. Is that the interest that we're expecting this year?
If the rates keep, yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Okay. And
Bank rates, by the way.
Okay, and then I just have one more quick question. Yeah, okay, and E, it says that the tentative budget for the Marina Campground Fund in the city is $233,036. So when we pass that over to the new operator, will we get that back in our general fund budget?
We expect that to drop significantly if a subleaser takes over the marina. We'll come back once those leases are secured and make a budget amendment, because we do expect a discount from those expenditures if someone else takes over those liabilities for us.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you.
You're welcome.
In addition, questions from the commission. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Commissioner Hill,
Yes.
Commissioner Boland,
Yes,
Commissioner Everett,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Resolution 2019-41 passes by unanimous vote. At this time, we'll move into Commissioner comments, and we'll start with our Vice Mayor Mervin.
I have none at this time, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Everett.
None at the moment.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Boland.
no.
Thank you, ma'am.
None.
Commissioner, thank you. This special meeting is now adjourned. We're going to reconvene for our workshop meeting in 5 minutes.
Why did I go so far from the mic? You still got on that dress. You still got on that dress.
You ready? You good? You good? Okay.
Sit down. Let him sit down.
We need order in the chambers. We're getting ready to start our regular city commission meeting. The volume. Give him a sheet that he can just write a name and indicate whether or not it's going to be an agenda item or a non-agenda item.
Okay.
City Attorney, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
City Clerk,
Yes, sir.
City Manager? Yes. Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Commissioner Boland?
Yes.
Commissioner Everett?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin?
Yes.
Sergeant at Arms? I call this City Commission work meeting of regular commission meeting of Tuesday, September the 10th, 2019 to order at 6:36 p.m. May we please stand for the invocation given by Deacon Kirkpatrick, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us bow our heads, please. Father God, we thank you for this opportunity. We thank you for this time. Lord, we ask that whatever you do tonight, God, let us come on one accord. Oh God, let us be able to sit down and reason. Oh God, keep the pathway clear so that we can get understanding. And whatever we do tonight, let us be able to recognize you. God, we thank you for our commission. We thank you for everyone that's assembled here. In Jesus' name we do pray. Amen. Amen.
That's what we had so far.
All right.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Bab?
Aye.
You don't feel like you're on. Tasha, you over there playing with the buttons again?
Vice Mayor Mervin?
Present.
City Manager?
Here.
Interim City Attorney? Here. City Clerk?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, staff, and thank each of you all from the public for being here to participate in our regular scheduled commission meeting of Tuesday, September the 10th, 2019. Before we get started, just want to remind the audience that we need to lower our voices. We need to be respectful of this commission and the proceeding that's going on here. If you have to answer your cell phone, make sure you walk out quietly and do so. If it's already not off, please do so at this time. One of the disheartening things is having to remove someone from this chamber. but we have to conduct business of the city. That's why we're here. You would get a warning if you're out of order. The second call would be to have you escorted out. The purpose of this meeting is to complete our city business. We want to give you an opportunity to have an input and a voice in this proceeding. You have two opportunities to do that. You have a public comment session where you can speak on agenda items only, and the second opportunity is just general comments and concern from our citizens. You're not always going to get an answer immediately. Sometimes we have to follow up with you, but we do listen to you and listen to your concern. So if you can abide by those, we can get out of here in a timely manner. Our meeting normally starts at 6:30, and this is even for our city commissioners. We want to be out of here no later than 2 hours, at 8:30 at the most. We're not going to rush over city business, but we don't need to be here all day unnecessarily. As citizens only get 3 minutes to speak, and I'm not trying to monitor or regulate commissioners, but we need to know that this meeting, as well as all our meetings, is to take care of our business. Once we get to comments from the commission, it should be pertaining to things that you don't have an opportunity to address outside of the commission. It may be an item where the public need to know. Those 1 or 2 comments, we need to have those discussed and brought up, but those other comments, questions that could be asked outside of a commission meeting, this is not the place. So we just need to be respectful of this and everyone else's time.
Got it.
Okay, we'll move to the addition, deletion, and approval of the agenda items. At this time, City Manager, do we have any additions to the agenda?
Not at this time, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. City Commissioners, are there any addition that you would like to request removed from the agenda for whatever reason, or any addition added or any deletions removed?
No, sir.
I'd like to request that we put the soccer back on as old business.
I'll need a second for that if it's the majority choice to add that particular item back on the agenda. We'll certainly do that. So we'll entertain a second.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Bolden and properly second by Commissioner Hill that we add the soccer team discussion back on the agenda on the old business. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Boland,
Yes.
Commissioner Hill,
Yes.
Commissioner Everett,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. The motion to add the soccer team on the old business has been approved by unanimous vote. Now I would entertain a motion to accept the agenda as presented with the addition of the soccer team being added on for discussion.
Mayor, I make a motion to accept the agenda as read with add on the soccer. Second.
It has been moved by Vice Mayor Mervin and properly second by Commissioner Hill for the approval of the agenda as presented with add-on of the soccer team. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Commissioner Hill,
Yes.
Commissioner Boland,
Yes.
Commissioner Everett,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. The agenda has been approved by a unanimous 5-0 vote. Now we'll move to citizen comments. Must be agenda item only. Must have a comment card completed. City Clerk, at this time, do we have any comments card completed pertaining to agenda items only?
Yes, sir. In that case, we have numerous cards for the soccer field. And the first one is Mr. Esteban Cardenas.
please state your name and your resident address?
Good evening. My name is Esteban Cardenas. I live in Citizen Village, which most people I know, 506 East Georgia Boulevard. And I'm here. I mentioned last time that I was a high school teacher here at Pahokee High School. Another thing that I didn't mention that I love is economics. I'm an economist. And I've done tons of research with professors in FAU, and I'm actually trying to get a job with Palm Beach State to continue doing research. And as an economist, I love to experiment. I just love it, naturally. So I did an experiment with the city, right? And I sent 2 emails. And I sent one email stating the Florida statute, the Law of Information Act. And that email was responded to in less than an hour. Loved it. Responded to that email numerous times, which each city commissioner CC'd. All the emails went to the city manager, CC'd each commissioner individually and then all together. And then I intentionally left out the Florida statute to just see the response time. Well, I was sent that email on Wednesday. The response time was today at 3 p.m. Wednesday of the week after, August 28th. So I love experiments, so I was able to see which emails are priority. So I now know that if you want your email answered, make sure you include that Florida statute information, because that's the only way you're going to get response in time. So I got my email answered today, and I haven't been able to answer it because it was a lengthy email, and I read it. I haven't been able to process and answer it. But there was one thing that really shook me. Well, first of all, we agreed here in the commission. The commissioners agreed, and all 5-0 was a vote, that the field would be used immediately for soccer and that the lights would be on till 9 p.m. Now, that email that I have from the city manager says dawn to dusk, and it says 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., which in the previous email he said typically from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So now instead of typically, he made it 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., going against what the commission had agreed against. Now, I know that first shook me. The second thing that shook me was moving around, this was in bold, moving around some schedules for the football teams. And this shook me because we did not want that. We did not want to move around the schedule for the football team. We wanted to play, and you can look at the meeting last time, we wanted to play after the fact. After football was done practicing, we wanted to get on the field. And then, when football season is over, we wanted to get on the field earlier, but only once football season was over. And that struck me, and then I get here to the commissioners meeting, and I have a group of people that I'm representing, I'm not alone. And then we're here, and then we see other people, right, that are shook up by this meetings being changed. And they were shocked just as I was. So that's something that really I'm glad to see everyone here at the commissioners meeting to talk about that.
Okay, thank you, sir. We need to cut down on the talking, please, if we can proceed in an orderly manner. And if you could, the applause kind of hold the process up, too. I know you're enthused and excited about this particular topic, but we want to make sure we can get out of here in a reasonable time. City Clerk, are there any additional comments, card pertaining to agenda items?
Yes, sir. The next one is Rodrigo Cardenas.
I would like to give my time to Esteban Cardenas.
You can give it to him. What we're going to begin doing there, too, is listening to each person who have a comment, but when you pass on your comments or concerns, we'll get that additional person an opportunity to speak additional 3 minutes. I'm just setting the foundation because if 5 people say they want the same individual speaking, we're not going to allow that as a chair. Because I've heard, this is a chair ruling on that. I've heard his concerns, and they're going to be echoed again by his same sentiments. So we have the picture of what's being asked. That's the chair ruling. Now, it's fine to allow him to speak. I'm just saying for additional people that having the same request, we're only giving him additional 3 minutes. Anybody else can speak other than that. So you can speak on your own behalf, or you can allow him to speak.
I'll speak on my own.
Okay.
All right, so my name is Rodrigo Cardenas. I also live here in Pahokee. I also live in Citizen Village, and he's my brother. The reason why we're here is because it's true. We do not want to take the football away from the kids. I tell you that we do not want to do that. We can't do that. That's true. Now my question is this. At what age do the football kids stop playing? They stop at a certain age, I think it's like 14 years old, if I'm not mistaken. But what happens after? I can tell you from my history that we used to play in this field, and there used to be not only soccer players, there also used to be football players that would come with us and play football. Now this is my question. Are we really going to stop with just the football kids? Or are we going to let them continue playing? Can we say, okay, we're going to let the football and the soccer and anyone who wants to participate into any sport, anyone that has energy, anyone that has time, can they go and use that field like they used to use it? It used to have a pathway where people can walk. It used to also have a park where there used to be a gate, and if they locked it, there used to be a basketball there. There used to be many things for just general public, just for the general public. What did we do? What did we do to cause this? We just simply played. We simply played. Now what are they doing? They're taking it all away from, not just me, not for the soccer, for everyone. They're taking it away for everyone. Now this is my question. What are we going to do with the young people that want to do something? Or even old people that want to use their energy for something? What are we going to do? Are we going to say, nope, we're not going to use the field, we're going to sit down, and only the young kids can play, which I have nothing against. We have nothing against that, all right? I fully support them, and I know they will support us too, because we also want young kids to play soccer. They can play both sports. They could be many different things. Now, clearly, we do not want to take this away from them. We do not want to take it away from anyone. What we want is, can we use the field for soccer, for walking around, for basketball? I know there's a lot of people that play basketball. They stopped playing basketball. I don't know if you noticed it. They stopped playing basketball. There's also used to be a playground there. I don't want to repeat myself, but it's just, I still don't understand. That's my question. And now, do we really want to grab the energy of young people and store it? Is that what we really want to do? Or do we want to participate, to do stuff? Let them do something. Now this question, I leave it to you guys. Would you guys want to see Pahokee with a closed down field and let every young people sit on the side?
Thank you. City Clerk, at this time, are there in addition to comment cards pertaining to agenda items only?
Yes, sir. Octavio Muniz.
Hello, everybody. My name is Octavio Muniz, resident of Pahokee, Florida, 265 Bangor Avenue. Here today, to voice some concerns. I am, an assistant coach for the 12-week football program here at Pahokee. And, the information that we received today stated that soccer was going to be designated a time from 5 to 6:15. It's not fair. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to our programs. We have over 20 volunteer coaches that get out of work and we come straight here, and we're on a strict schedule. We need to have our kids fed. We need to have their homework done. We need to have them in bed by a certain time. I believe that, as a city, we can come together and we can find a solution for football and for soccer. Me personally, I would love for my 12-year-old, well, soon to be 13-year-old, to be able to participate in both sports. I have a 4-year-old that I would love for her to play soccer here locally, not have to drive her to Belgrade. So I believe that as a city, we can find a better solution than designating them an hour and 15 minutes before football practice and stopping what we have going already. And that's really all I have to say. I believe, we can do better. They can, we can give them, the space, they can start a season, and soccer can be great in Pahokee. So that's all I wanted to share.
Thank you, sir.
Can we ask him a question? Excuse me, sir. Who did you get that information from?
We got a text message from City saying that that was I guess Parks and Recs.
Okay, thank you.
In addition to comments card, Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir. Maria Gonzalez.
What was funny, that we're out here, we're getting ready to come in here and start talking about soccer, and then we see the football players and the football coaches come out here too and start getting ready, and we start talking because that's what people naturally do, right? You don't just keep it to yourselves and don't talk. You say everything up front. So they automatically told us, and we're like, wait. We're not trying to jump in your schedule. We want to play after. Like, what time you guys finish? And they're like, oh, we finished at like 7:30, right? I think 7:30 was what they said. And I'm like, look, it's football season. We understand that. We'll get on the field as soon as you're done. Whatever time that is, we'll get on the field, right? The commission agreed that the light was going to be on until 9 p.m., so we'll just get on until that time. Then we'll get out. Then football season's over, then we can start our soccer season, right? And the same thing's going to happen. Soccer season, if we're practicing, right, and there's some football players that want to come play on the field after soccer practice, right, we're going to have a schedule. The field is open to the public recreational use. That's all we want, right? And I think we want that because I remember my classmates and I from high school coming to this field, and I remember encountering our classmates, and they would be playing football, we would start playing soccer. We would split up the field for about 15, 30 minutes, but they had been here before us, right? And then they would get tired and leave, and then we would like expand the field afterwards. Right? That's all we want. We just want the field open to recreational public for everyone. Right? And the fact that they tried, I don't know who, right, this scheduling, right, to put us from 5 p.m. to 6:15. I did not know information until Tavio came up here. I saw the email from 5 to 6:15, but I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know if they started at that time or they finished at that time. Turns out that's when we were going to play. That time was not what we agreed on. We did not agree at 5. The commission agreed because they called me up after I had finished speaking. They called me up for a time, and I gave the time, which is at 10 p.m. I believe, and then they were like, okay, that's too much. We're going to do it at 9. They asked if we agreed at 9. I asked the public. They all said, yep, 9 is fine. I saw some thumbs up. You guys saw thumbs up, and that's what we expected. It's been 2 weeks since that meeting. The field was voted to use immediately. Now, immediately is a subjective term, I believe. I need to learn English. Because immediately tends to be quick and now soon. There was some scheduling, I understand. 2 weeks should be scheduling. To have scheduling done the day of a commissioner's meeting, I don't know if it was a coincidence or luck or whatever it was. But all I say, right? All I say, there's more than enough time. We just want, how hard is it to just schedule? We're playing afterwards. As soon as these guys are done, we'll get on. That's all. As soon as these guys are done out of the field, we'll get on the field. That's it. It's that simple. Anyone can get on the field, not just soccer. Anyone. Open the field up, let public go on there. People walking around, people walking their dogs, people being on the park, right? Families used to come here. Families used to come here. Mom would used to walk, dad used to play, kids used to play in the playground. Now what?
Thank you. City Clerk, are there any additional comments, Carl?
Yes, sir. Mr. Kirkpatrick.
187 West 5th Street. I want to make this kind of brief because each one of us are coming up here saying the same thing but not getting anything accomplished. The young man just came up and said that can we work together and to be able to do something that will support both sports. You guys actually use the field, okay? So you got the correct times to use the field when the time was submitted. Instead of us continuously coming here, makes it look like we are against one another. But now listen. And when you talk about what used to happen on this field, I work for the city. And I know what happened in the field because I was working with the adult program. Yes, this field was used and everyone used it. Also, it was on all night. The lights was on all night. Also, the buildings were being broken into. I'm not saying that anyone did that because I don't know. I'm just telling you it was unsupervised. That's going to detail us keeping the lights on all night or until you guys get through. That's going to have additional security. Then he's going to have someone here that we're going to have to pay. My advice to you guys, are you all in cooperation with the city? Have you all tried to come in and say, let's have a city league? Like we have a football league, basketball league, track league. Come in and incorporate with the city. Sit down and talk with the city so that you all can get this worked out. But coming in here, I keep saying this, in this city here, we're going to have to learn to come together and get done what needs to be done for the city, not any one individual. This is not a white, black, green, purple. This is for the city. And this is real simple. Don't make this look like we're against one another. Come in and have some good dialogue with the city manager. Not sit up here and say, in order for you to get a text, in order for you to get a text, you got to send this right here. That's not the way to do it. That's not the way to do it. If you want help, you got to learn to ask for help. And come with a sincere heart. And someone will work with you. But until we collectively come together to be able to use that field or whatever it's used for, we got to go by it the right way. That's not him making no decision. The commission made the decision that you all can use the field. Okay, now, if that's the case, we have a schedule here. We have a schedule. Let's go by the schedule. But you got to understand now, there were programs that were still being ran before all of this came about. That never was a problem with you all using the field. But number one, we got a new field, we got a different field. Not saying we can't use it. But guess what else? It needs to be supervised and it needs to be organized so that he will be able to deal. I'm sorry.
Good. Thank you, sir.
I don't need an applause because I know the truth.
City Clerk, in addition cards.
Yes, sir. The last one is from Ms. Patricia Wilson.
I'm just simply saying, and this will be very brief, I'm just simply saying that we got to come together. But I'm going to tell you one thing I did read today, and this is what our problem is. When Mr. Pope comes and talks to me, he has never referred to me as a roach. But every time I get on Facebook and I look at it, we're calling people roaches. And we're using names. Mr. Bab, you and your bunch of roaches. That's a bad word. But I want everybody to know when he calls Mr. Bab a roach, he's talking to you. I'm talking to the roach. Well, that's good. You can be the roach. You can be whatever you want to be. But you better be very careful when you say that to and how you do that. You better be very careful. Because guess what? Everybody ain't going to be a Christian about it. This is something real simple that we should come together, get this done, so that you guys can have a wonderful time, our children can continue to play, and guess what? This city can continuously grow. But I'm telling you, Mayor, until we stop this fighting and folks calling folks roaches, this is going to be a bad thing for our city. And this is going to be a bad thing for our city. We got some people that are here that are disgruntled. We got some people that don't want to be here because they can't have their way. And when you refer to me as you people, and you are a bunch of jack, that's to me very disrespectful. Thank God for grace.
Ms. McKenzie, you got to order, sir. You got one person speaking. You
We
need to
also-
refrain from speaking.
Mayor, that's one of our other situations I want to talk with you about. See, when they make those outbursts like that, we need to have them removed because that's exciting a riot. We were doing something very nice up at the fire station meeting, taking in things to try to sell to those people in Bahamas. There were a young lady came up there and she literally just lit right into us. And then she went over and she talked to one of our commissioners and said that we called her the B word. Mr. Alvin never even raised his voice at her. I was right there. You all are a bunch of morons. Where do you get this you all from? And this is what's happening. That's why we can't get anything done, because we're doing more fighting instead of working together. But when it was years back and things was going well, nobody came in and called nobody morons. Nobody came in and said, you guys was incompetent. Never said that. And this city was in a wreck. Yes, it was. And you know it was in a wreck. So let's just support one another. And whatever way that we can do this, let's work together so we can get done for the city. And if when you talk with the city manager, he doesn't respond, shoot him another text. Shoot him another email. Until he responds. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I think that concludes the citizen comments on agenda items. We'll now move to the public service announcement. In the cards on public service announcements.
Yes, sir. Miss Margaret Smart.
Mr. Mayor and city commissioners and city manager, I would just like, Margaret Smart, 997 Beckham Point Road in Pahokee. I would just like to make a comment so that all of our citizens and especially our children know this. There is, in first Thursday in October, is Take Your Bible to School. Please do it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
First Thursday.
In addition to comment card containing to public service announcement, City Clerk?
No, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Patrick, did you want to briefly mention the rescheduling of the Gospel Fest real quick?
I do want to say to the city and all of those that are helping, we're still reaching out for solicitation of giving us money to help us with our gospel program. And this gospel program that we're putting on, due to the storm, we had to kind of change our dates around because the storm was there. This gospel program is just for this reason right now, is for us to come together. Now, when we have this gospel program, it's going to be singing and we're going to be praising the Lord. Everybody ain't going to be there. See, we ain't going to come with signs of saying we love Jesus, but we ain't going to come with those kind of signs. See, we're not going to even come because I've reached out more than one way to try to get everybody involved. You know, me and Lieutenant Piccolo just had a very good conversation. He was open to me, heard everything I had to say. I didn't have to shoot no email. I didn't have to talk about anything crazy. He listened to me. Now, whether he does anything about it, what I'm going to do, when I talk to him again, I'm going right back to him again. And it's going to be respectful. But I'm just saying, we want to try to get everyone to come out to this gospel festival. The dates have been changed from the 31st and the 1st to October 19th and 20th. It's going to be held at Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church. I don't care what color you are. If you want to be a part of it, come. We'll accept it. It won't cost you a dime. So I'm asking for everyone to come. If you're a minister, if you want to be a part of what we're doing, just come on board. We've gotten great support from it. People have came and gave us money, and it wasn't all black folks. They gave us money. They want to be a part of us coming together. And that's what this is about. We got to come together and get done what needs to be done. Thank you, David.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, are we still having the same groups that are coming? I'm sorry.
Ma'am?
Will there still be the same groups that's on the flyer?
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
perfect.
We have confirmed with every other group, but we're still soliciting groups.
Okay.
Because like I've talked with you, Ms. Bowler, that we just haven't gotten any other response from anybody else. So this Sunday, we're going to take it back around to all of our churches here in our city. And the other part of it said, hopefully we can get someone to come out and bring your signs out. You can have your signs out there as well at the church. But make sure you put Jesus on instead of putting up sports and stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'll continue to move down the agenda. Approve of minutes. We have no minutes to approve at this time. Consent agenda item. We don't have any consent agenda items. We have no ordinance. We do have a resolution, actually 3 resolutions. First resolution is Resolution 2019-37. City Attorney.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, declaring a local state of general emergency in the City of Pahokee, authorizing the city manager to take action, providing for adoption of representations, providing for an effective date.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Just for information,
Mayor,
this
correction. That's a ratification of resolution.
yes, this is a ratification. We actually proclaimed a state of emergency in the city during the hurricane, so that would expedite receiving reimbursement or carrying out our obligation to help protect this city in a timely manner. So city commissioners haven't had resolution 2019-37 properly read into the minutes by our city attorney. What's your pleasure?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve of the ratification of Resolution 2019-37.
Second.
It has been moved by Vice Mayor Mervin and properly seconded by Commissioner Bolden that we approve Resolution 2019-37. Call for question. Hearing none, are you ready for vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin?
Yes.
Commissioner Bolden?
Yes.
Commissioner Everett?
Yes.
Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Mayor Bab?
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Resolution 2019-37 passed by unanimous vote. Now we will entertain Resolution 2019-38. City Attorney.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, approving the observed holidays for fiscal year 2019-2020 as set forth on Exhibit A, providing for adoption of representations, providing for an effective date.
Thank you, City Attorney. City Commissioners haven't had Resolution 2019-38 properly read into the minutes. What's your pleasure?
Mayor, make a motion to accept Resolution 2019-38.
Second.
It has been moved by Vice Mayor Mervin and properly seconded by Commissioner Hill for the adoption of Resolution 2019-38. Call for questions.
I have one. On this Exhibit A, how many days are we giving them? Total?
11 holidays.
Okay, that's why I counted more than that, so that's why I'm confused.
No, it's 11 holidays there.
Are you including the floating holidays with that? Because if you do, say for instance, Thanksgiving, and you got
the actual
Thanksgiving.
days within the holiday itself is more of, of course.
Yeah, that's
like
what
you
she's
got
asking. That's
New
the
Year's
question she's
Eve,
I
asking.
asked for
Christmas
total,
Eve.
yeah. How many did we give them last year?
15. About the same. This same schedule you had last year. Dates are changed.
This is the normal schedule that we always give every year?
Same one in 2017, 2018, now 2019, 2020. Same holidays every year.
Okay, so why are we saying New Year's Eve is at your discretion, at city manager's discretion? Are we giving it to them or not?
That's at my discretion at that time. I don't make that decision until end of December, but it's a discretion that I'll make at that time. But I need approval to have that discretion now. Typically, I give it to them. New Year's Eve, typically they get. But I need approval to have that discretion for the 2019-2020 fiscal year.
Okay. I don't know, I've never done one before, so that's why I was asking.
Understood.
My question to that
A lot of
would be
days.
to actually go ahead now and authorize New Year's Eve. That's normal, traditional day, given, I don't like the terminology at the discretion of the city manager.
That
And
way, if
there are
somebody
some-
wants to make plans to go out of town or something, they could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some times when the city manager should have the discretion, like for instance, during the hurricane, you have the discretion to allow staff to leave early to in preparation of their own safety and upkeeping. So there are going to be some areas there, but that's a gray area when you say discretionary for the city manager. So my suggestion was to move that out and replace that with the actual holiday being authorized.
I agree. If you're going to give it to them, you should give it to them.
Discretion there that.
That's all I see.
I'm fine with that,
Mr.
Mayor.
Mayor, I do have a question directed to you. I know in past conversation there was concern about the number of days that employees were receiving. I definitely said I was a bad point of reference.
Right.
Because being part of the school district, we get a plethora of days.
Yeah, and I remember you making that comment. School board is a little different from most.
I know, I understand that, but I'm just saying,
right,
looking at
right,
the days that we have listed.
Right, correct.
Is there any concerns? Because
Yeah.
as I look at it, I mean, like with Christmas day before and the day after, I've seen businesses do that. But is that out of the norm for other cities or county agencies to do outside, to give Christmas Eve and the day after Christmas?
I would say it is. 3 days of Christmas, not a general practice of most municipalities, organizations that I'm aware of. I'm not saying it can't be done or shouldn't be done, but when it's outside the box like that, I have some concerns. But I will say the total number of days fall in line pretty much with what our organization doing. I do have a copy of Palm Beach County holiday schedule here, so it closely mimics that, especially in the number of days. So if it's their preference to have a certain day, as long as the total don't exceed a normal range of days, I'm fine with it.
All right.
So then the day after Christmas and the day after Thanksgiving actually will be in this. It's shown over here on this side,
Right.
correct? Okay. All right.
It's not the day before.
So do we need a motion to change New Year's Eve from discretion to yes, let's do it?
Yes, that could be included in the motion.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, I make that motion that we include New Year's Eve in their holidays and take away the discretion.
Okay. So basically, we're just amending, I think, Vice Mayor Mervin.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. We can just,
Yeah.
we're just amending to include that.
Okay.
So that's fine.
So that's the second.
Okay. Yes. In additional questions? So we have an amended motion on the floor by Commissioner Boland with a second for the amendment. Just for the record, I need someone to just a second the
A
amendment.
second, I thought.
By Commissioner Hill. Again, call for questions. Commissioner Boland made the motion, the amended motion, and Commissioner Hill seconded. Hearing no additional comments, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Boland,
Yes.
Commissioner Hill,
Yes.
Commissioner Everett,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Motion passed by unanimous vote. Now we'll move to Resolution 2019-39, City Attorney.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, approving Budget Amendment Number 5 in the amount of $638,229 for fiscal year 2018 through 2019, as provided in the attached Exhibit A hereto, providing for adoption of representations, providing for an effective date.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. City Commissioners have had Resolution 2019-39 properly read into the minutes by the City Attorney. What's your pleasure?
Nobody has made motion but me.
Looking for a motion.
And nobody has made motion but me.
I don't think these controversial resolutions, that's normally come when you get controversial. You hesitate by
There's the only one up
being
here.
on record on it. That's okay, Commissioner, go on the roll.
Okay. May I make a motion to accept Resolution 2019, where we at? I forgot. what motion.
39.
39.
Thank you, ma'am.
Second.
It has been moved by Vice Mayor Mervin and properly second by Commissioner Boland for the adoption of Resolution 2019-39. Call for questions.
I have one about the $177, the $206,177. Where are we getting the money from? It says we're going to repay it to the state. Did we figure out where we're getting the money from?
Commissioner Boland, pursuant to my last response from last commission meeting, we have that money in our general fund to repay that by October 1st.
Okay, so is that going to affect our budget?
Yeah, that's why we're doing a budget amendment right now for 2018, 2019 as we in this fiscal year. Yeah.
And that's included in our budget amendment?
Yes, it's included in this amendment. Yes.
So it's just sitting in the account and we're just going to get it right out of general fund?
Yes, ma'am, by October 1st.
Okay.
Or sooner.
In additional questions, I have one. I really, as a mayor, and I can't speak for the other commissions, but I need to really see a report on this incident. I know you have given us a verbal report as best you can as a proceeding and transaction of what occurred. But what we're talking about, I'm going to be honest and blunt and just frank, we're talking about a period of 3 years. I know this project was started, at least the funding was received prior to your arrival as our city manager. But during the process of this grant, you was on board, at least during the final phases of it. Earlier, I was told at one point that the money was not identified, and later on, I was told that it was finally identified and that there was no new money that we had to allocate for this repayment. So I'm not saying which one is right now. I'm a little confused as an elected official. So I would request something in writing. And the reason I'm not flip-flopping on this, I made the statement in the past that we need a written report. And if that report wasn't sufficient, then we need to look at the possibility of having that particular grant audited so we can at least track where the money was. It could have been spent in a different area. I don't know, but it's our obligation to know where the money was and where it's at now, if it can be identified. So
I can have the finance director generate us a report that can answer all those questions.
Okay, I appreciate that, and
No
also
problem.
include in the report the request from the state asking for reimbursement. And the reason I'm saying this is because I've heard that our financial staff found the discrepancy of the loss of misplaced money. Then I'm hearing that the state actually brought it to our attention. So that should be inclusive of the report, and any information back and forth from the state pertaining to this grant need to be attached as an addendum to the report.
Yes, sir. I'll make sure we do that.
I agree with the mayor because I know I went home that night and I didn't sleep because I was concerned how we were going to come up with $206,000 because we were told that night it was gone.
In that, and I don't know if this particular resolution is addressing it, if we're taking $206,000 from the general revenues, we had that allocated during our budget discussion, so we need to know what parts of money, I know it's general fund total, but what parts of programs and money it's gonna affect. You know, we may have trimmed 20,000 from this department and another 50,000 from this department. We need to know that as a commission and know what changes now is being, will be affected by this money being reallocated.
I include that.
But
I'll make
Mr.
sure
Mayor,
to include that in the report.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, if the money is there, why would there be trimming?
They're trimming because initially, at least
Listen to my listen to
Okay.
my question. If the money is laying in general fund,
right,
it would necessitate trimming in any department.
it would. You had $206,000 that was in general fund that was going to be used for various departments in this upcoming budget. Now that $206,000.
No, it won't. Correction, Mayor. It will
All
not
right.
be used in the 2019-2020. This is money that we have to amend for the conclusion of this year's budget by September 30th. So it won't affect your 2019-2020 in a respect of how we're looking at it from a term or chronological perspective. I know what you're saying, that, you know, we're going to expend out $200,000 before the new fiscal year. How does that affect the incoming budget? That money doesn't affect your 2019-2020. It's just money we have to pay out in the current fiscal year. And what you're asking is, okay, how's that going to affect us moving forward? I can bring those answers back to you. That is a concern to the commission once I talk to the finance director and her department, and we generate a full report for you.
That doesn't make sense to me.
It does to
The
me, I know.
206,000 would have rolled over, and we would have taken it with us into 2019, 2020. But we're gonna pay it out, so we're not rolling it over, and we're not taking it into the next year with us. So how does that not affect our budget?
It's not inclusive for your 2019-2020 budget. So the best I can do is bring you that report from the finance director, have her explain to you what that 206 means and how it affects the 2018-2019 conclusion and the 2019-2020 upcoming budget. So this gives us an opportunity to bring that report to you so we can have a little bit more clarity on it before fiscal year 2019-2020 starts. But
Then maybe we
have-
shouldn't have this in here until we get that clarified.
You have to pay this before October 1st, so we have to pass this out.
Well, we
tonight.
have another meeting before October 1st.
I don't plan to wait until then to pay this money.
You don't get to wait or not wait.
Well,
It's
actually, I have
us,
to
and
pay
we're
that money
asking
now.
you. We don't understand this. And I don't like voting on stuff I don't understand.
Well, when me and you had that one-on-one, this is not one of the questions you asked.
Does
And I
that
could've
matter? I'm
clarified
asking it now.
Well, I could have clarified it offline where I have my finance director give me a little bit more answers that you're asking versus coming into a meeting and you're asking a question at the last minute.
The mayor and I are
and
both
have all that
saying, we
questions.
went through the budget, we understood most of it, we have some questions, and now we're asking
Well,
you
we're
about
not talking
this,
about
and
the
you're saying,
2019,
just ignore it,
2020 budget.
we got the money and we're gonna pay it, and that's it. And I don't like it.
Okay. Again, give us an opportunity to provide clarity once I speak to the finance director and her department so they
Right,
can
and
generate.
I'm saying we shouldn't vote
Commissioner
on
Boland,
this
one thing
tonight
you're going to have to
because
do
we
is you're
don't
going to have
have
to let me
clarity.
finish talking. Now, I'm respecting you and I'm listening to you, but if you want me to respond, you got to let me finish, please. That's just out of respect for you. Now, please give us an opportunity to bring back those answers to the commission that the mayor has mentioned. He wants a generated report on how this project was expended out and where did the dollars go. Some of the questions he's asking, I can't ask off the cuff here. But this resolution is on the table. We know we have to pay the money. You've seen the letter. I've given you the letter from the state saying we need the money paid by October 1st. If we want to take this to the next commission meeting, I don't have a problem with that. But I recommend that we pass this out so we can pay the money that's owed, that we do currently have in our general fund. That's my recommendation. That's why this resolution is on the table tonight. Understanding that the mayor wants some additional clarity.
And I personally don't think that we ought to be spending $177,000 of the city and the citizens' money without all of us understanding what it is, where it is, how we're getting it, and how it's affecting us. I don't see any reason we can't wait and get those answers and then vote on this.
That's,
Mostly,
come on, audience.
mostly because when the state communicates about this, they're communicating with the city manager. They've already requested, why haven't we paid it already? So that's why the resolution is here to give me the authorization to generate a payment to the state. Now, it's not going to happen immediately. I can probably hold the check a couple of more weeks, but I don't want to give FDOT, who, by the way, we're going back to for additional funds for more projects in the future, hold their repayment up, because that affects all of my conversations and communications with the state of Florida for future projects if I'm still holding their money that they're due.
Both points are valid. I can see Commissioner Boland's point, and I can also see yours. I was kind of leaning, to be honest, the same direction she was leaning in. This need to be held off and waited till we can at least get that report. Then I looked and thought, we're going to pay it anyway. It's not saying whatever the consequences once we get the report may be a different thing, but the money has to be paid back to the state. So holding it for 2 weeks till we get the report really is not going to do us any good. The state is looking for their money. It's owed back to them. We need to make sure that that's just my personal opinion, we need to pay it and then look at that report and see if it satisfies our needs and answer our questions, and then we'll make a decision on how we move forward from there. Commissioners, are there any additional questions? Hearing none, are you ready for vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin?
Yes.
Commissioner Boland?
No.
Commissioner Everett?
Yes.
Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Mayor Bab?
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Motion and resolution passes by a majority of 41 votes. That's conclude our resolution. We don't have any public hearings, no proclamations, no presentations. Now we'll move to the mayor's report. I've had some constructive criticism on the way that I conduct our meeting here, and I must say that there's some improvement that's definitely needed. Everybody have a different management styles of how they do things and how they carry out their business meeting and their training or whatever it be. We always look at the outside and say it can be done better, but you have to take in some of those criticism. And one was that sometimes not only the public but even commissioners feel that our meeting get out of control. I don't see it normally to that point. There are some disruptions here and there. I just have to make sure that those disruptions is minimum as possible. And again, it's one warning. The second one, we don't want to throw anyone out of this chamber, but we don't have any choice other than that. And it's really up to the mayor to make sure these meetings are conducted in a official manner. And when audience and public interact, when we're discussing and debating or talking, it stops our process. And we can't not allow that. But this is not going to be no dictatorship. If you look at courthouse proceedings, there are always going to be some folks even in the courthouse. They're going to make some comments when they shouldn't. The judge tell them you're in contempt or you're out of order. The second time, he actually remove them. You know, you even have people who are not convicted, but accused of crime that have to be changed down and restrained. And sometimes they have to dismiss the entire meeting procession altogether. So I just want you to know that I'm adhering to your criticism and your comments, and there are going to be some little tightening of our policy as pertaining to outbursts and disorderly comments, because we want to get out of here in a timely manner. We certainly was blessed and fortunate in South Florida to have escaped the major wrath of Hurricane Dorian. Unfortunately, the Bahamas wasn't as fortunate. But I thank all the residents of the city of Pahokee, especially in Palm Beach County. We're talking about tens of thousands of residents that have volunteered their time, gave selflessness to donating the cause and helping with the relief effort. It's just been unheard of that many people would contribute to an island that's not even in the United States. And I personally, as mayor, thank you. I want to thank staff for the great job that they did during the hurricane, preparing the city for the storm. We prayed for the best, but we prepared for the worst. I know there were some concerns about boats being at the marina. I may have misquoted in a email that I sent out. I personally don't believe it was or is the city's total responsibility of securing private vessels, because one thing, if those vessels are not properly secured, and it was our staff that did it, and plus if we didn't have a written a release from those owners, they're going to sue us and say we're responsible because my boat is damaged because you didn't properly secure it. What we did do is make sure that all the boat owners, all the boat vessels was properly notified of their responsibility of securing their own vessel. And we also lended a hand to any of those owners that needed to by our public work department. So I thought we did our responsibility. It may go further than that. That's something our city attorney can look at, whatever agreement we have with the current boat owners, and make sure that it's legally sufficient. Someone quoted some state statutes to me saying that the city is obligated. Yes, the city is obligated to do what's in its means, a reasonable means of securing a boat, but it's not our sole responsibility. But we want to be part of that process. Thirdly, we need to appoint the Housing Authority Board. I don't know if we have anyone that's interested in serving on the Housing Authority, but if you are, please complete an application. We want to try to get that done by our next commission meeting. It's been a while now, and I'm not sure if that's a line item on our current application, but if not, it need to be included on there.
Mayor, in addition to that, thank you for bringing that up. I don't want to interrupt your report, but while you're thinking on those lines, we also need to think about the ZAP board, replacing some members on the ZAP board as well. So keep that in mind.
Okay. So it's a ZAP board need members, and you know actually how many at this time we need to replace?
We currently have 3 members. The board should have 5 and then 2 alternates.
Okay. So we're looking for at least 2 additional ZAP board members and 2 alternates. In addition to that, I'm just challenging and asking and encouraging the city commissioner to seek out applicants for our youth council so we can get that up and running. It's probably been about a year and a half since we passed a resolution to reestablish our youth council, and we haven't made any appointments to that council. We want them to be able to give us some inputs on things and activities that the young people in our community would like seen done in our city. The ZAP board.
ZAP board, zoning. That's a zoning board. That
zoning and planning board.
Right.
Okay.
Sorry. One additional mention about the ZAP board. They have staggered terms. So we'll be getting those names of the terms that are concluding, and we need to make a decision on reappointing or searching for others. Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. That includes the mayor's report. Now we'll move to our city manager report.
Thank you, Mayor. Citizens, thanks for coming out tonight. Mayor, Commission, as far as the gymnasium is concerned, no changes from the last time we had this conversation. We are in a holding pattern with the Palm Beach County to start renovations. They have not given me any new updates since our decision on what type of gymnasium floor we wanted to see renovated. So again, no new updates from Palm Beach County on when they're going to start. We're anxious for them to get started. We know that'll complement some of our other amenities here at Parks and Recreation. So we're just awaiting their response of when they're going to start renovations. I usually try to reach out to one of their staff before commission meetings, but I ran into one over this weekend, and he told me there was no new updates. And I reminded him that we are patiently waiting for them to start. Again, our last part of business before they wanted to move forward was what type of gymnasium floor we wanted. We provided that information, so we're still waiting. And hopefully I think there's a representative here from our district in Palm Beach County. She'll take that note back to our commissioner, our district commissioner, and maybe we get some additional responses on what is the delay on that project. I wanted to hold off on talking about some additional renovations that we have to do here at our football field. As you know, we got to add seating here at the football field. There's some things that the city has been working with some private funders and organizations to address some of the additional renovations, because by a long shot, we're not done with this football field. It will close again to do those renovations, but we're just looking at the right time to start those additional renovations. But they've been listening in on these conversations about sharing of the football field, and I'm going to reserve what they're saying about it because it affects our funding right now, because they're paying close attention to the decisions that we're making. But for the most part, they're still on board. But again, they're just paying close attention to what we're doing. And these are individuals that have been in this community, and they're offering, a significant amount of money for additional renovations for this football field. And they are either current or former football players. So we need to be very mindful of the decisions that we're making, because they're paying close attention to what we're doing here. And they have their own personal opinions about the use of that football field because they grew up playing on it. So I'm not saying that as a precursor to the old business we're going to discuss. I only brought that up because we're looking at some additional money to help us bring in the stadium seating that we need for this football field. That's it for the upgrades. I'll mention some other things about that at the old business. Waste services, we have waste management that provides all of our services here in the city of Pahokee. That contract's coming to an end after 5 years. I believe November. We're about to put out a new RFP for new waste and trash services here in the city of Pahokee. We don't know what type of responses we're going to get, but we're hoping that we can save some dollars someplace based on the bids that come in. But that RFP will go out after, I think, 5 years of having waste management. And it could very well be waste management again, but we won't know until those RFP responses begin to come in next month. And we'll know if we're going to save some money for 2018, 2019, stay the same, et cetera. I've been sort of, as you know, when we go to these conferences, we meet a lot of these organizations that provide city services. And I've spoken to some of them just, in general about what we're looking for in waste services and what we're trying to do fiscally in the city of Pahokee. So we'll see if we get the right responses that we need for that RFP. Pahokee Gift Campaign, that's going to be this Friday. What I've decided to do on this Friday is we're going to take a break from the administrative duties and all the other responsibilities we have as staff. And we're going to spend half of our day here in Pahokee encouraging our citizens on Friday to give to the Bahama Relief over at the old fire station intersection. The entire staff will take a couple of hours and try to really drive home the point that we need to give to the victims of this hurricane in the Bahamas. And so we'll be taking a few hours out Friday morning from 8 to 12, all staff, and we'll be at the intersections of East Main Street and North Lake Avenue promoting the Give campaign. Subsequently, our first information came from Commissioner Bowling wanting to put a box in City Hall. Being I serve on the United Way's board, I got a phone call. They wanted to partner with the city because they wanted to identify some drop-off points and offer the city of Pahokee. Thus, that led to the city being a partner with the United Way. If you don't want to give items, you can go to the United Way website and give fiscally, monetary. But please, we're not taking monetary donations. We encourage you to actually buy the items and bring it to the old fire station. We're going to package it up And on September 19th, United Way will bring in their staff, and they're going to pick all the items up, and they will ship it for us. So we don't have to pay for shipping over to the Bahamas. They have all that arranged for us. Our responsibility is to collect as many items as possible and have them prepared, wrapped on pallets so they can be picked up. So we're going to continue doing that all of this week and up till September 19th. And probably we'll continue doing it even after September 19th, because you're talking thousands of people who are displaced, who are looking for a place to stay. And I think someone mentioned, umbrellas. Why do we need umbrellas? It is significantly hot in the islands. And standing outside because you don't have a home is difficult on these individuals and these families out there in the Bahamas. And that may sound like a weird request, but a lot of them have said that the worst part of being displaced is being in the sun. They don't have a home. And so I'm requesting, along with your packages, put in umbrellas or anything that can cover heads, because that's important. And you don't think about that. You think about clothes, you think about food, but some are saying we're just hot. We don't have a tree to stand up under because all the trees are blown down. And so that's an additional item. If that we can put in those packages, it'll go a long way for those individuals. So that's what we're going to be doing on Friday. I hope everyone is giving the best that you can, because I think if we were in the same condition, it would be returned to us. And so that's important. We have to take time out through everything that we're talking about as citizens, as neighbors, as friends in this room, and think about our victims in Bahamas. We could be worse off, and we're not. And so I just implore you that if you have anything to give, even if it's in your garage and you're not using it anymore, and you feel that it's something that can be used, package it up, bring it to us, and we'll ship it to the Bahamas for you. And that's pretty much what I have to say about that. Mayor, if you have any questions, I'll certainly entertain them.
Hi. We're going to wait and talk about soccer under old business?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, City Manager. City Attorney report.
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we'll move to...
Mayor, I'm sorry. My apologies. Let me bring you up to date on where we are with the Division of State Lands fairly quickly. I had a conversation with Division of State Lands as it pertains to, of course, the 35 acres on our request for deed restriction, and also the subleasing of the marina. They indicated to me that, of course, it wasn't on the agenda for this week, but the 35 acres will be on the agenda for the 24th. They were requesting some additional information from the City of Pahokee via the potential operator that will be on the land. So we're working on getting them that information. So that's 35 acres will be on the agenda for middle September. And then they came back and they said that the actual leases for the marina, they're not going to put that on the agenda until October. So they're still awaiting, of course, some appraisals that they requested from the appraiser that was hired. And then once they get that information, they're going to review it just for sufficiency, and then they'll put it on the agenda to the governor and cabinet. So again, the city doesn't control the schedule. Division of State Lands pretty much is moving this agenda for the city of Pahokee at this point. So that is the latest that I've received as of 24 hours ago on both of those requests to Division of State Lands for the 35 acres and on the 3 leases. And in addition to that, if they are before the 3 leases are given to the governor and cabinet, the Division of State Land representatives did say that if there are any additional changes or things that the commission wants to see, that they will give an opportunity for you to provide them that information to go in there go into the leases that they're going to vote on. So be mindful that you still have an opportunity before these 3 leases are approved by the governor and cabinet to make any additional changes, and they will accept those changes.
I'd like to request a copy of that lease or those leases because I didn't get one. I wasn't here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I have one question, just a follow-up and an update. I know that the Green Tone, the company that was looking at the hemp manufacturing company here, they actually walked out of our last meeting and say that they was walking away from the table. I believe the city have had and engaging in some additional conversation with them. I just wanted to know the status of that. Are we talking to bring them back to the table, or having any further discussion, or that deal is pretty much closed, so we can have some closure or have some hope that it may continue, whatever the case may be?
Mayor Commissioner, I'm continuing some very robust offline conversations with their representative. We've been talking throughout this past probably 24 to 72 hours. We've been exchanging information ongoing. So whether that leads, I don't know, but it's been some fluid conversations, and we're moving forward. But again, these are not conversations that I've been sanctioned from you to have. It's just we all came back to the table and we're having additional conversations about a lot of the things that were discussed. So I have no new news on that, except we are in constant communication on a daily basis at this time. And until we have something that I think is we can present, we'll bring it to the commission. But they are engaging. Their representative is engaging me at this time and has been engaging me.
Is the city attorney in on these conversations?
Not at this time. I do copy on responses that I'm providing to their representative.
So she's not involved? She's not communicating with the city attorney?
They're just communicating with me currently right now.
No, didn't we give directive to both of you to be communicating with them before?
No, actually, you gave directive to your city manager.
And it wouldn't be a terrible bad idea. I mean, the city attorney would be there for legal sufficiency, but to be honest, unfairly or not, she's being accused of trying to derail, which I don't think she is. We're doing our due diligently. We're not desperate, but we are in need of economic development, and we're going to continue to push that ball forward until we can get economic development. Let's keep in mind that our two biggest assets is the marina and the 35 acres that we own. So we're going to ask some questions. We have to. And we wasn't responsible for someone walking away from the table because of that. That's what you call a negotiation. It just happened that part of that negotiation or conversation have to be public. And that's what transpires sometimes. One party could get frustrated and walk away, but they are actually back at the table, at least doing some discussion. So I just brought that out so the public be aware that, you know, we're doing our part to make sure that we can bring economic development to our city.
But I have a question, because when they were here before, she was talking about some economic development plan or something, and they were talking about a P3. And if he's talking to him and he's negotiating, which one is he? Is he following what she wanted, or is he following what we had? We've never seen an economic development, whatever that was, plan.
And the reason.
So how would we know if we wanted him to negotiate that or not?
That's why, that was my biggest concern. That's why I didn't want anything to come back to the table and we right back to square one. I just feel as though
seems like we took two steps back.
Yeah, I just feel as though if the communication is vital at this point. We need to make sure that the city of Pahokee is just, you know, we're not in situations where we would then start backpedaling or we're not happy with. Nothing against Green Tone. I really would. I don't have a problem with even trying to support investors that are coming in, but at the end of the day, I would want to hear. I would feel more comfortable with the city attorney knowing something just with the legality part of it. And I mean, just to feel a little more comfortable about it. You know, and I don't. If all of them have to come to the table, Chandler, their attorneys, our attorney, I just feel that we will be able to move forward quicker in that manner, opposed to them coming and now we're not agreeing on this, and then now we're not agreeing on that, and they walking out again, and I just think it would just be
Mr.
so.
Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
Just for, I guess, just for the record, I guess. My opinion is very clear, and then I know additional things that even crystallizes that opinion even more. So I think I've shared those things with Mr. Williamson. He's aware of them. And my opinion, unless something magnificent happens, is not going to change. So I think if he can further discussions with them and maybe bring back to you all what he thinks will be in the best interest of the city, I will still give an opinion on what he brings back. So I don't want to be in a position of derailing anything. That's not my goal. My goal is to simply give good legal information based upon the facts and circumstances that are before you, and I have no other desire to do anything else. So I don't, so if he's having discussions and those are continuing, I think the other side knows, what my opinion is, and like I said, I have additional information. I don't know how the city's going to get around that yet, but when the appropriate time comes, maybe they'll have some answers.
Well, are you conveying that additional information that you have to the city manager so he can use it in his negotiation?
The city manager is aware, yes.
And Mayor and Commissioner, I'm not going to bring you anything that's not first discussed eventually with the city attorney. I'm not going to present anything that she hasn't seen or done some type of sufficiency review on. I'm doing this very meticulously because I know sometimes, Mayor, when we do go too public, sometimes we miss the point or we miss the mark, and I don't want to misstep. So the things that I'm discussing, before I bring them to the commission as an official presentation, I'm going to have a discussion with the city attorney and say, is this the best direction, based on your review? Is there some things that need to be done that will work for the best for the city of Pahokee? So I'm not just going to lollygag and say, okay, yeah, we're going to do that, and then bring you a presentation. Before that happens, I'll have even, additional conversations with the city attorney. It's just right now, their representative is comfortable in the lane that he's in. I'm comfortable with the lane that I'm in, and we're going to continue those conversations.
I guess my concern is that I've always heard if the other side has an attorney present, you should have an attorney present because that makes everything even. And since we're paying to have an attorney present, I don't know why we don't have an attorney present.
I think what's happening now, whatever discussion that the city manager is currently engaged in, he's making sure that the attorney is receiving that information. So she has an opportunity to give them some input that way. My only concern, and I'm going to be because she kind of say, I'm comfortable with that role right now because if the deal falls through, I don't want folks to blame her for it. She's going to do.
I'm going to blame her if
job.
She's not there.
Well, 90% of them blaming her. 90% of them blaming her for being there.
Can I ask a question, Mr. Williamson? Who are you speaking with currently from the company? Are you speaking to an attorney? Because it's the assumption that you're talking with the attorney.
I'm speaking with one of their legal representations for their agreement. Yeah.
And Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, the position that you heard from that representative is that he registered as a lobbyist pursuant to your code of ordinances, and that he is free and has free reign to speak with the city manager. So that is the position that he is taking. I have had conversations with the attorney, and again, and that's the gentleman who was here a few weeks ago. And again, my opinion has not changed. I don't know where the manager has told me actually some of the discussions that have taken place, and nothing's been said that sways my opinion. But he and I are in communication, and in fairness to him, he is communicating what he's hearing, and I communicate back to him what my opinions are, and at some point he'll come up with something that he can bring to the commission, and I'll weigh in before that time.
Let me ask this from the commission standpoint. I wasn't totally aware that he was speaking basically with legal representation, because in the lobbyist legal, that's all tied in together. Are you comfortable with allowing the city manager to take the sole lead in that conversation, or like Commissioner Boland said, we should be asking the city attorney to be involved in those discussions and not getting information secondhand, sitting down to the table along with him? It's up to the commission what they desire. We pay both for their salaries, so if we want to include the city attorney, she's saying she's comfortable with the role she got currently, and if there's anything that would not benefit the city, she can have input, but it's up to us on what direction we want to take on that particular item.
Well, I asked the question for a reason, because when the gentleman stood up here in our last meeting, he stood, as a lobbyist. Now, one of the things I would say is, my old pastor would say, if a man represents himself in court, he has a fool for a client. And so it would be in our best interest if we're, in conversations with attorneys, legal, with no disrespect to the intelligence that our city manager possess, it would be in our benefit to have legal representation, if I can talk. Yes.
I just think it would be really good if the city manager and the city attorney and their group and their attorney all sat at the table together and work this thing out, and either it comes together or it dies.
Commission, let me say this, because the position that they're in and how they're communicating with me, they're comfortable right now. And I hear your concern. I'm talking to an attorney. Our attorney should be talking to their attorney. Actually, in reality, we should be talking to the owners of the company. And the two attorneys come in and say, okay, is this legal sufficiency? That's how business works. And it's not working like that right now. They put an attorney in front of my face, and they haven't yet to give me an actual guy who owns the company in my face.
Exactly.
And I still got a problem with that.
And that's a problem.
So,
that's a problem.
Let's be real clear about it. Let's be real clear here. That's how municipal business works with public-private partnerships. You put the owners of the company in front of the city manager, not their attorney to represent them. So I'm not hearing from the company. I'm not seeing the face of the company. I'm seeing the face of the legal representation for that company. And that's not how business works.
And it sounds like what you're really seeing is like a middle person or a middle company that really doesn't have any ownership. That's basically cutting a deal that where it sounds like it's in an inappropriate situation for the city to be involved in. But if the city persists, I just don't. If the city persists, I will weigh in at the appropriate time. I will weigh in before, whatever you all want me to do. But this is an unusual situation, and it's not the kind of. And I know the city wants economic development. I get that. And I know they want it now. But, there may be some other Florida hemp growers or United States hemp growers or if you want to put out a bid and see what's out there that you may attract, rather than, and I've said this from the very beginning, even before you got into the discussion at the last meeting, I said it at a previous meeting, you may want to look at, because land is at a premium right now for this type of activity, if that's what you want to attract for your city. And you can do it by, and there are a lot of people who are interested, just like the forum that you went to, Commissioner Boland. There are a lot of people who are looking to, looking for land, and the land is at a premium because there's not a lot of tracts where they can come in and municipalities can give them buildings and land, and there's not a lot of places like that. So although you may feel like you're being forced into a situation, you have time to procure it if that's what you wanted to do. It doesn't have to be some middle person, third party, something forcing you to do something and, giving you information that's not accurate. I just think there's a better way to do this, and this is really not it, in my opinion.
Yeah, can I just ask a quick question? Because I was under the impression that the P3 thing that they gave us then if we had accepted that, or we had negotiated and worked it out and accepted that, then we would advertise for exactly what you just said, for everybody to come in.
Right. That if you were going to deal with this particular vendor, that is not. I don't think that's the best way for you to go. I think you can put it out for bid, and you can do an economic development agreement that would, you have something tangible that you can look at, that will, you put certain conditions in.
Okay,
I think,
so
and
we've
I-
seen,
you
okay,
could-
we
you
have a
don't have
copy
to
of
use
the
a P3. Yeah.
But
I'm
we
not-
haven't seen this thing,
Right.
this economic development thing you keep talking about, but.
It's just an agreement. It's an agreement that
So
they
can
will-
you give us a sample
Oh,
of it so
sure.
we
I have
can read it?
I have an example in my car right now for something else I was doing.
I think it would be really
absolutely-
handy
I
if we had
I
it in front of us
absolutely-
so we'd know.
I absolutely do. But it's not tailored to this, because who knows what they're giving. I mean, I can give you tons of economic development agreements.
I just
but
need one.
But what I'm saying is a procurement process, if the city were so inclined, would probably be a good, that way you can see a good way to go, because that way
Right,
you can see
I understand, but
people-
what
and
you
could
keep saying
require-
is
and you-
economic development, and I don't have anything to read.
And you could require as a part of that that the person or persons or entities that are actually bidding own the property, right? And then that way you get to your owner, and then you have what the manager is describing as a regular process where you have owners talking to the city, and then attorneys coming in to help craft the document. But basically, you guys are just being rammed and being told that we must do this right away. And I think they're somewhat trying to take advantage of the prospect that they know that the city really wants economic development to occur. Everybody wants that. But I think there's a better way to do it. That's all I'm saying. That opinion is not going to change.
Let's go back to the question at
think-
hand, though. The original question at hand was, do we feel comfortable enough letting the city attorney continue just city manager dialogue and conversation to keep them at the table, or do we need a motion to make sure whatever conversation, whatever dialogue, that the city attorney be a part of that?
I would feel comfortable if we had representation from our city, which would be our city attorney. I think that's just a no-brainer. But I think the problem is we're very concerned. It's almost like we want to give them that opportunity to work with them, and we want the city attorney to see how is it she can go in and make that happen where it would benefit the city.
Right.
But hold on, I get it, and I also understand your concern, which I clearly understand, because basically, if anything goes on, it's almost going to be like the city attorney derailed or did something to the city. And I think at this point, I would just feel more comfortable with a city attorney being present opposed to the city manager speaking to their attorney, which we already see at this point. Let's just say this. They are very aggressive. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but however, we still need some representation.
Right.
Legal representation from the city. Even if we don't go there with them, at least we will know, listen, you can get in and just say, listen, the P3, this is not what we want. How is it going to benefit the city? And then we can go through that process opposed to allowing
I hear
him.
you, but what I'm saying, Commissioner Hill, is I would hope that you all would give us direction to speak with the owners, and then I think that would cut through a lot of nonsense.
Okay.
Give us direction, if you're going to give direction, to speak with the owners of whoever this green tone that's just been set up, for the purposes of doing this deal.
See, this is what we need to hear. We didn't know that.
I hope, so that's the direction
Those
that
are the
would
things
that
we
would put
need
us
to
in
hear.
line with how cities normally operate.
Right. Okay, so for one, that's one piece we need to make sure we clear out. Let's speak to the owners first. Where are the owners? Because that way they won't come here and we just put on this big show. I just don't want that to happen. I don't want the citizens to feel that we're not wanting to do business, because at the end of the day, guys, I know anybody would know this. You just can't go in on a deal with anyone and someone is being so aggressive and just so to the point. If this is not what you want, then we would just walk out. I don't have a problem with green tone, but I do want details, and I would love for one to speak to the owner, because this is about the city, our city.
Well, I'll entertain a motion to that effect to have staff to speak directly to the owners and have the city attorney along with the city manager involved in those discussions.
Then can we make that?
I'd like to make a motion to make a motion for our city attorney to speak directly to the owners of Green. I'm sorry. I would like to make a recommendation for the city attorney as well as the city manager to request that we speak to the owners of Green Tone at this point first.
And specifically the owners that will be operating and growing the product here. And so, in other words, if Green Tone is set up by a middle person that's, doing a deal and they get paid a percentage of the deal, then we would want to meet with whoever, the people in Canada. We want authority to talk to the owners, the people who would actually be the growers of this product in the city of Pahokee. You follow me?
Right.
Because
obviously we're speaking to
Commissioner Hill,
right.
Can we make that motion that they go together, or that they're on the phone together at the same time?
I'd like to make a motion
no
that
separate, everything's together.
Make the motion.
Okay, let's start this again. I'd like to make a motion that the city attorney, along with the city manager, communicates directly to the owners, owners of the company of Green Tone.
The people that will be growing
the product. And
well, aren't they supposed to set up some kind of co-op or something for that?
I'm sure they will, but at this point, I think that's what we need to do right now. That's it.
We want the city would be entering into an agreement with the folks who are actually producing the product, growing the product. And so I
thought they were setting up a processing plant. So wouldn't we be talking to the people who are setting up the processing plant?
But see, this is a dialogue that we need. That's okay. We have a motion. This is a dialogue we need. Let's go ahead and make the motion. I'd like to make a motion that the city attorney, along with the city manager, speaks directly to the owners, the people that will be directing or facilitating or even financing this company, Green Tone. But specifically, we want communication done, making sure that you all directly speak to these owners. That's my motion. Let's do that first, and then we can go from there. Because
we have a motion.
That's good.
Can we get a second?
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Hill and second by Vice Mayor Mervin to allow city staff, city attorney, city manager speak directly to the owners to continue this negotiation to move forward. Call for question. Hearing none.
Okay, no, I have one. Okay, so are we talking to the owners that are going to be the growers? Because I didn't understand there were going to be growers. I understood they were coming in to put in a processing plant. So you're talking about the owners, the people who are going to own the processing plant.
The owners who are going to own the processing plant.
Wasn't that the group that was here from Canada that
No,
night?
they're not.
They're not.
That's okay. We can find out. We can get
If they
that.
have
That's
to
fine.
be, then that's what we'll be.
Yeah, that's fine.
speaking to, but
We'll just make sure we
the
want to speak
motion
to
is
owners.
to speak with the owner of the processing plant. So
Yeah.
if they're the same,
Well, yes.
then we
we'll get to
do
that.
that. If
That's
not,
fine.
we have to speak to the actual owner.
Yes.
But the staff, the main thing about the motion, the staff have their clear
Right.
direction on
That's
who they
that's
need to
all
be
I need.
negotiating
We
and
need
speaking
right.
with.
Okay, and then my other concern was when the city manager he said in the last 48 hours, he's been discussing it with them, and they walked out of here 2 weeks ago. So can we make that motion a little tighter that says you do this in the next 48 hours?
No,
So
you can't do that. Here's why you can't do that. you're dealing with an entity and individuals that are already sensitive. Don't put timelines on us. Allow us to work this process appropriately. It's called business negotiations. Don't put timelines on us. Don't force us to try to force them to give us something that we're not prepared for. Let us work this process. That's how we got in trouble before. Let us work this process. Please, don't put timelines on us. They may not be ready. We may not be ready to present anything. Don't put timelines on us. Let us work this process with them. I got them talking back to us. Don't put a timeline on me right now. Please, don't do that to me.
Well, I think they tried to put a timeline on us. That's why they walked out.
Well, yeah,
However,
exactly.
yeah, I
Exactly.
understand they're playing
Exactly.
hard ball, but I get it.
I
We
would
have
feel
all-
comfortable, and they would feel more comfortable if we continue along the lines that we're communicating. Now, we got a new directive, but don't put timelines on us. Allow us to work with this group, and let's get, to a place where we all can be comfortable. But please don't put a timeline on
And
us.
there's a lot of information, trust me,
Okay.
that you want to get before you go and enter into an agreement or run
That's-
out and try to. You need a lot of information. You really don't have it right now. You have nothing.
Okay. That's why I don't feel comfortable. Thank you.
Any additional questions? Hearing none, are you ready for a vote?
You said? Okay, she said.
Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Hill,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Commissioner Boland,
Yes.
Commissioner Everett,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes, motion carries by unanimous vote. Okay, so that concludes the city manager report. The city attorney didn't have any additional report. Now we'll move into our old business, the soccer team. We're going to have the city manager give an update, and we'll discuss the information needed.
Thank you, Mayor. Someone's phone's on. All right. At our last commission meeting, we had a conversation about the use of the soccer field that's at MLK Park. It's still going to be a soccer field. I'm still going to make it one of the premier soccer fields in the Glades. That's going to happen. And when it does happen, I think we all will be proud of that. In the interim, that MLK soccer field is available. It's available Sunday through Saturday. It's unrestricted. It's not closed. It's up until it gets dark, but it's there. I took an opportunity to invite some soccer coaches from Wellington to come out here. They took a look at that field. They love the field, actually. And we actually were thinking about bringing a tournament from Wellington to play on that field. Haven't worked out all the details yet, but we're going to use that field very soon because no one else is using it right now. So that's about MLK soccer field. We will make it one of the premier fields here in Pahokee. And the fact that we're being told it's unsafe, the community is unsafe, I find that ironic when you got commissioners that live around that around that soccer field. I find that ironic that when I look at crime reports, it's not around MLK Park. It's right actually here where we're sitting at, where you find all the crime statistics, right here where we're sitting. So I find that ironic that people say it's unsafe. So when we do research, let's do accurate research. Let's not propagate conversations that get people riled up with misinformation. Now, back to Mr. Cardenas. Mr. Cardenas sent me an email on Wednesday, August 28th, following the commission meeting at 9:34 a.m. And he said he did an experiment that he didn't get a response. I responded to you on August 28th at 10:20 a.m., almost 54 minutes after you emailed me. I have that copy right here. And in that email, I stated several things. And I'm going to read that email. I stated to you that we will be reviewing logistics for usage of the soccer field over the next several days. Now, we gave you a date. However, within the parameters of operations for city facilities, staff availability, city programs, sports-sponsored activities on our Parks and Recs department that are ordained that we have to offer to this community, I would provide you a response. I also said, as you're aware, parks and recreation facilities per policy are dusk to dawn. That's your ordinance. And dusk to dawn is 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. That ordinance has not changed. Now, why do we have a dusk to dawn policy? Why does every city have a dusk to dawn policy? It's because of liability. It's because of risk. It's because of safety. It's because of staffing sometimes. It's because of funding. All of those things are reasons why cities have these policies in place. It's the reason why you have that policy in place here. Now let's do a little history check. When I got here in 2015, yeah, they were out there till 9 o'clock at night. And along with that came all of the vandalism, all of the break-ins, and everything else that went along with liability. So I stopped that and said, we're going back to the policies that this commission put in place and what needs to be implemented for this city to protect its facilities. Because what we tend to forget is liability costs us money. And what we were incurring was breaking in of the light box to make sure the light's on at 12 o'clock at night. I can't tell you how many times that my former director, who's here tonight, that we had to make purchase orders to replace those things. And we got tired of it. So we made a decision back then that we would provide an opportunity to play soccer, but it wouldn't be on somebody else. You can't dictate time to a city, first of all. So let's clear that up. You can't dictate policy to city operations. So let's clear that up. No community is doing that to a city. It ain't going to happen here. You have a policy that protects your facilities. Now, subsequently, your football field is connected to a large facility. When staff go home at 8 p.m., because that's the only time you pay them, you don't pay them beyond that unless someone wants to pay them overtime, this facility has to close. All facilities close. All of them do. They don't remain open. Not at 10 and 9 o'clock at night. I haven't seen one yet. Why? Because of liability, risk, safety. They close. I also said to Mr. Cardenas, if you're going to be the contact person for uses and will be taking responsibility for liability, etc., please provide me a written letter indicating that point. Once received, it will be notated with the Parks and Recs director, and we'll continue communication. Never heard back from him. Still haven't heard back from him. But what I did get was a response that all of you need to respond to his email. That's documented right here from Mr. Cardenas. So, I continue with my promise and my directive from this commission. You said find an opportunity for soccer, free play, whatever to happen on that football field. I was against it. I'm still against it. We have a free soccer field that's unrestricted for use. It needs to be used. Whether they use it or not, I'm going to use it. I'm going to find soccer teams to come play on it. So what I did was I first asked my director of Parks and Recreations to give me the full seasonal schedule. Because you just mentioned in football. But under Parks and Recreation, we have 7 to 8 sponsored Parks and Recs programs for the entire year. What are they? Football itself has 4 categories. 4 categories of sports. Football itself, what are they? It's the Orange Bowl League. It's our Spring 8-on-8. It's our flag football, adults and women. This is the schedule. These are programs that we offer and are sponsored of the city of Pahokee. Everybody else got to get in where they're fitting in. Because these are your sponsored programs that we said in this community that we would sponsor under Parks and Recreations, under that department, under the city of Pahokee. Now that's their mission and vision. Now, and I'll give you a copy of these, and I'll give it to the public, because it's very extensive. But when you look at these schedules, you'll see that you have a comprehensive Parks and Recreational department that spans from October 1 to September 30th of every year. And it covers every sport: football, winter basketball, flag football, adult basketball, 808 spring football, track club, adult and youth flag football, and tennis, and so on. You have a lot of programs occupying, this facility. And specifically, I'm going back to football because I want to focus on that. You have 4 categories of football that we run here. It ain't just Orange Bowl football that with those 3 teams or 4 teams. You got other flag football sports that we're offering after December 1st when the season closes. So, again, I took the directive of how do we provide some time for soccer. I offered the opportunity for soccer to be used for free play, team play at a certain time, knowing you have 4 teams that also need to practice on that field between 5 and 8 o'clock. You got 4 teams that by Orange Bowl rules, they have to practice 4 days a week. And when the athletic director comes up, he's going to explain that to you. You got the coaches sitting in here. They're nodding their head because they know I'm right. So what is a city manager to do when I'm being told to offer that time? Something has to give. What gives? We have to cut time for football practice. I'm against that, but I got a directive to do that. So I offered a timeline for that to happen. And that's what I did. There are some consequences of trying to squeeze everything in on one field in a small amount of time. Something has to give. And that's what I did. I offered them an opportunity to come out on that field every single day, knowing that it will reduce the time of those 4 Orange Bowl teams to practice and be prepared. Because they're in a sponsored league by the city of Pahokee. What does that mean? That means those kids pay $150. Parents who don't have money. And sometimes they have 2 and 3 kids. They paid to be on that field. Okay? We pay into the Orange Bowl. We pay for it. Now, what's happened every home game here at this field? Those 4 teams are generating anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500 at the gate and in concession. They're paying for their program back to the city of Pahokee. And they're a sponsored league program. I want to emphasize sponsored league program under the city of Pahokee. Why am I saying that? For numerous years, we went to the representatives of the soccer community and offered to make the soccer program a league-sponsored sport in the city of Pahokee. And we've gotten nowhere. I'm not saying that. That's the directors that run the department and the athletic director. They're going to verify it in a minute. If you were a league-sponsored program, we wouldn't be having this conversation. You'd be under my liability insurance. You'd be paying into a league, and you'd have that time. We'd have to work it out, but you'd have that time on the field. Now, I'm still saying you got a field that's still at MLK Park that you can play on right now, Sunday through Saturday, anytime you want, 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. or beyond. And no one stepped foot on it yet because it's unsafe. And the community is unsafe. Slap in my face. Because that community is not unsafe. And when we want to, propagate and put things out there publicly that construes people's minds, sometimes you have to take a step back and put the truth out. Stop saying that. Don't do that. Because, as one of the residents said, no one has ever came to the city manager and had one conversation with me about this field. Not one. I'm still waiting.
Let me interrupt you just a minute. If you want to speak, you can ease out the door and speak. This is not the Pahokee Community Choir. We can't all talk together. We can sing together. There's somebody I know Kirkpatrick is a director of the choir. We can do that, but please be respectful. Allow him to speak, and so we can proceed with our meeting.
Audio visual, put that on the screen for me, please. So what we can't endure here is the conversations about we are, in some respect, Mayor Commission, being, how can I say it in the best light? Against another community or part of our community, ethnic community, when I'm looking at my dark face every day. That shouldn't be on social media. I grew up in South Carolina. You can't tell me about segregation. I know about it. Was taught how to negotiate it. So let's not put that out there either, because that doesn't benefit the city of Pahokee or this community. This is a proud community. And we shouldn't use wedges to try to create stories to gain advantage for our personal good. We can all sit down and have a conversation and do this the right way. That's the appropriate way. Social media, you're not going to get anywhere with me with that. Again, Commission, I made an attempt, directed by you, to provide against the wishes of what I know was going to happen to that field when you cross-use that field, because it wasn't designed for soccer, it still ain't designed for soccer, it won't be designed for soccer. You're going to incur maintenance costs ahead of time of what they projected it to be before the 10 years is up. And that's fine if you're ready to incur that cost. That's why I moved forward with providing some time for soccer. Now, you guys want to hang out at 9 o'clock. Mayor and Commission, I cannot take that risk having this facility open at that time of night. And subsequently, there's no kids playing out here at 9 o'clock at night. It's adults. So let's remove the other mirror that you keep throwing up that it's the kids, it's the kids, it's the kids. It's not. They're going home when it gets dark. Why? You got to go to school. So let's remove that conversation that we're affecting our kids, because that's wrong. That's wrong too. Don't use them as props in your conversation. Don't do that. If we want to move beyond 8 p.m. to use this field, you will create a risk, and that goes into your insurance and your liability that I don't think we can handle. We had a great system, as they mentioned, after football, that they would come in and use the field till late at night. Well, you know what that caused. It caused a lot of issues at this facility. So I decided to give them earlier times to use the field, knowing that you have 4 Orange Bowl sponsored football teams that must be on that field. Something has to give. Now, do we want to tell the parents of those 4 sponsored football programs that paid their money that they can't practice? I don't have a problem doing that, but you're going to have to deal with the consequences of that. And again, you have a soccer field. No, it's not field turf. It don't bright and shine up like the one over here. But it's a soccer field. It's not the ones you see in the soccer tournaments on television on Saturdays, but it's a soccer field. When I finish with it, it's going to be one of the best in the Glades. I'm not changing that. So if we want to add more time for soccer, you're going to get less time for football. That's just where we're at. Because the facility has to close at 8 p.m. because of risk, liability, safety, and all those other things that I mentioned earlier that we had to deal with. And subsequently, you got to pay staff, and that's overtime after a certain hour of the day.
Let's get in some quick question if need from the commission. Now, currently, the schedule that you have arranged for them to play is 5 days a week from what time now?
I think it's 5 to 6:15, something like that. And that's for free play, that's for group play, that's for team play, etc.
And the time you're cutting out for the football practice currently, they normally went to 5, now it's what we're cutting out.
They start prepping at those football teams start prepping at 5:30 for the field, and those teams go on that football field, and they're there till 8 o'clock.
So basically,
that don't change. I don't know what he's hearing out there on the sidewalk out there, but those football teams are there till 8 o'clock at night.
Okay, that's what they currently are. I'm seeing if you mentioned the fact that you cut their practice time down some. Mm-hmm. So if you're giving the soccer team the opportunity to play there from 5 to 6:15, that means you have cut 3 hours off the practice of the football team. Because if you're saying they're normal to 8 o'clock, won't be there to 8 now. They'll be there till 5.
Well, and some teams, because they got 4 teams, some teams will get a very short time to practice throughout the entire week because I'm taking almost an hour and a half away from them now.
So it's an hour and a half you're taking away. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out what was done to help accommodate.
Every day.
Every day.
And again, even the soccer team have admittedly said that they don't want to interrupt the football program. It is a city program. But we're working towards making them accommodation there. And I think we're moving towards that direction. Their biggest problem now is the time. And you mentioned about the liability. Most parks, if not all, does close at dusk or dusk from dawn. This commission willing to extend the soccer team a little more time than what the city manager is recommending. That's going to be the biggest hurdle. If we live with that and live with the time he has prescribed for them, hopefully after football season, now their time would still be able to be extended a little more than that because there won't be football played there.
My thing, Mr. Mayor, sports are played in season. You have certain seasons where you play football. You have certain seasons where you play basketball, baseball, etc. So one of the things, since our soccer group has a representative, why can't we as a city sit down with the representative and see if we can integrate the soccer into the recreational program, as mentioned by one of the residents, Mr. Patrick. Let's see how we can sit down at a table of reason and integrate, because you're playing on city field, which can open the city up for liability with free play. I'm not an attorney, but we do have an attorney. Would that open us up to liability with having free play? They're doing it here on city grounds. Why can't we engage them into, hey, let's see how we can integrate soccer, since there is a great interest, and it has been for years, with our recreation department. That's one. Now, one thing that we can't do is continue to promote fallacious statements about it's not safe, because I was highly offended. Because if MLK Park isn't safe, then there needs to be a skyrocket in online sales, because I'm fearful to go to Walmart. I don't want to go to Royal Palm to the movie theater. I don't want to go to an outdoor event like Charlottesville and where people were hit. I don't want to send my boy, who's 12 years old, to school in the morning when the shooting took place in Broward. So we don't need to be, picking and talking about things that happened ancient years ago when we removed the traffic light that we had at Buddy White, the infamous Buddy White Corner. We have, those kind of conversations we need to separate, and let's deal in truth. Because a lot of people live there, and we do have indoor plumbing, and we're civilized. But what we need to have a conversation about, how can we integrate the program? And, you know, on one hand, we talked about the kids got school, and then the other, we want to leave it open to 10 and 11 o'clock. What we have to understand that, you know, we want certain amenities that other cities have, businesses, economic development. But then we want to have, you know, we want to come up with rules here and there. Every part in this county and state have gates. They're locked at a certain time. That's the lay of the land. I think the best thing to do is to have a expand services that we're providing as a City of Pahokee Recreation Department. We need to be engaging in conversations about integrating it into a program, and it is a seasonal sport just like football, basketball, and I would hope somebody would come up and do something with baseball. And it not just be some free thrown together program, that it is a program that citizens can pay and enjoy seeing soccer play, because it's not just the Hispanic community that's playing soccer. We have a commissioner whose daughter is playing soccer. We had someone say, why should our community have to go to Belgrade to take advantages of their program? Let's sit down and have some reasonable conversation and stop mixing our personal feelings about whether we like people into city business. You ain't got to like me. But let's do what's in the best interest of a city in creating a league and stop just throwing things together. I think it's bigger than a free play. Let's have a league. And maybe that could be a feeder into a high school program. Is there, educators, is there currently a high school program? Oh, okay. So maybe with a recreational program, it can feed it. So where do you all play for your soccer league at the high school?
We play in the high school. We play many schools in the district. We go all the way to Boca, and we go up North Future. We are trying to.
But where do you practice? Where do you practice at?
Oh, okay. Anquan Bowling State. Okay.
Football and soccer, we have never had fun.
Yeah. And currently, like with our basketball team, they're playing at the middle school.
Middle school until I.
That's our deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have my question. Listening to everyone speak, I'm looking at this field. Okay, what is the problem with practicing on the field? What's the problem that going out there to practice on the field during the daytime? Is there a concern? Because I know you're saying safety issues, which we can throw that out the window. What is the issue with going on the field? It's set up for soccer that you can go out and it's not gated. You go at any given time and practice soccer. And then if you have, if you had a league game, you will come into the city. That's if you not want to fall up under the city league, and then you will fill out your paperwork, your permit, your insurance, and you use the field as your tournament games. But what is so wrong for like these guys? Because my concern is, because I have a kid out there that I paid $150 for, okay, to play on this field. And I know we have a lot of parents that did pay to have their kids to come under the city league. And they guide by the city ordinance of that field. You see what I'm saying? I am with Commissioner Everett as far as why can't we get a soccer city league? You know, what is the issue with that? And if not, can we just not? Have you ever been used the field?
All right, there's three questions that I want to ask you. The city field looks nice in the picture, but when you go to it, I don't know if you can see it, the grass is very tall. For soccer, the grass being tall will stop the ball from rolling. There's also holes into that place. I don't know if you've ever been. I mean, it looks amazing for here, but you see things not. Also something else. The field is really, like, you cannot see it, but I think it's smaller than a soccer field. The goals are actually shorter than they should be, like with the right way. Also,
those are fixable things.
Yeah, they're little things. Here's the thing. Another question that I want to answer very quick. We do not want to mess with football. Like, clear. Football is orange, bowl, certified, and you guys, it's not something we want to take away. We're not fighting against football. Making it clear. Like, clear. Football is not going to move. We're not moving football. We're moving soccer. Football can have the same exact hours, and we should not even touch it. What we want to do is add soccer. We do not want to move it around. Football will stay how it is. Actually, I'm against moving football. I'm totally against moving football, especially for the parents that are paying. Why would I want to pay for something that's not there? But also, as the parents that are paying, wouldn't you want your child to also play soccer? Or if what happens if you were to move football? How would you guys feel? That's kind of how I think. I want to play soccer. That's all we're asking for. As a soccer coach for high school, I want to promote this, move on.
But excuse me, sir, that's the question that has been. Now, I had some minor concerns with the field at MLK, and I expressed to the city manager with regards to a gate because it's adjacent to the road. Now, as far as tall grass, I have seen the grass when it was cut very low. With regards to goals, did you all have goals at the football field here on the grounds? Because I've never saw goals.
It was a football field. It was a soccer goal, and also a football.
Oh, it was a combo. It was a combo.
For as long as I can remember.
Can I?
With nets and all too?
No, they didn't have nets, but we took them off because of the sun. But I think there should be some nets. I don't know around here, or there used to be nets. I have pictures of when we used to have a weekend, and they have nets.
Okay, can I say something? I contacted Commissioner McKinley and asked her what was the deal with the lights. Because I've heard y'all talk about how you went and got the lights. And the response that I got was from Eric Hall, and it says, the attached photo shows the new synthetic turf field Pahokee installed earlier this summer, although I'm not certain how it was funded. It appears the city is reserving the field for football only and won't allow the soccer program on it. Because the city received a $250,000 for park improvements in 2004 from a recreation and cultural bond inclusive of sports lights for football and soccer, the funding agreement obligates them to use the fields for the same purpose, football and soccer, for 30 years or until 2034. The fact that they have changed the surface from natural to synthetic does not excuse them from this obligation. They also received funding from us in 2011 to repair the field, and that funding, too, has a 15-year obligation for both football and soccer, which takes it out to 2026. This is from Eric Hall, Director of Parks and Recreation.
Now, was that before this and that, or that was another?
So I don't see how we could ask them to go down there to MLK and play on something when we've obligated ourselves to let them play soccer here.
I don't think that we asked them not to play soccer, that they cannot play soccer on the field. I don't think,
well, let me say this, because I can speak for me. We unanimously agreed, and I think, Mr. Mayor, I think we need to take control of the meeting, okay? It's a meeting among us, but it's public viewing. Now, we unanimously agreed, 5-0, to allow them to utilize the field. The point that I'm taking the point to another level of discussion to say, how can we have a league? Everybody's missing that because we've come with preconceived notions and ideas. And one of the things, the issue that we have, we're dealing with a field that they have already stated that they're not trying to interfere with football. The conversation that I'm trying to get to is the conversation of how can we integrate it into the city's recreational offerings.
That should happen. We should work towards that, but that's a long term. When I mean long term, it may not be for the current soccer season. I think we have taken steps to address some of their concerns. All of your concerns are not going to be addressed in one season. The first and foremost is we have designated, at least the city have designated time, 5 days a week to allow you all to use that field. So whatever this letter is saying, we have accomplished that. This field is not exclusively for football, it's for both uses. You are programmed that outside the city function. There's a lot of programs outside the city function. You got Herbert Crawford program here. He would probably love the football field to go on there, but only so much can be accommodated during a certain season and a certain time.
But Mr. Matt, once again, they have stated, the group, the soccer group has stated, they're not trying to conflict with football. And we very well know that it is a conflict. Why are we trying to escape looking at the elephant in the room? Let's address how can we, because what she stated was not a free league. It stated that the city must offer. Did I hear you do it?
Well, it says the city must offer for
football and soccer. So what we need to do,
must
in
allow.
keeping with the grant, is let's talk to interested persons who are here so that we can facilitate a soccer program offering.
I think we're saying the same thing, and I'm in agreement.
If you say we gave them 5 to 6, 15,
I'm in agreement with that. What I'm saying, to integrate an official program.
You're missing what I'm saying.
Well, Mayor,
let me say this. My point is, you have the time. It's our question now whether or not we want to extend that time and go over the normal time that is currently being in operation. So you're saying they would be satisfied if they can play later in the evening, so it don't disrupt the football team. But again, in the same token, we're going to have a liability problem if the city commission won't agree with.
When is y'all season over?
Time we can do that.
December. The playoffs is December.
Okay. When I looked up the U.S. youth soccer site, they said there's no traditional soccer schedule, but what I have seen on their site is there's a fall and a spring season. Fall season is September, November. Spring is February through May. There's no traditional schedule, but that was a proposed schedule or season that the U.S. Soccer has plays. According to the information that Commissioner Boland read, the city has an obligation to offer a soccer programming. You have an interested captive audience here. To stop having the dancing back and forth, the heeing and the hawing, all of that, what we should do as a commission, after hearing what has been read, is give a directive to see how the city staff can work with the interesting captive group to fulfill the grant obligation of the city offering soccer according to based on a season, a seasonal sport offered by the city.
Mayor, I think I want to hear from that lady director. Push it.
To speak in relation to what you were saying, the last 3 years, came back to Pahokee in August of 2016. City of Pahokee Parks and Recreation offered 3 football teams, an adult soccer program, and basically a high school soccer program on that grass field. They literally killed the field during that time. Why? It was not more so of the programs, that was just too much on one particular field at that time. I explained to Angel at that time, he was in charge there, and then I started working with Esteban. I explained, guys, we've got to give that field downtime. The field was literally brown when I came back. Dirt in every spot for the goalies. There was basically dirt and rocks right there. All right, I explained to Angel, we've got to give it downtime. Okay, give it 2 or 3 months, and then we were able to bring the field back to grass. Now, the last 2 years, Esteban and Angel and I have talked about running a league. Okay, all right. What I gathered from that is that we became a preseason training facility for those same high school kids to get ready for their season. All right, because when Esteban and I talked, it was more or less, okay, we're going to get together, we're going to run an actual league. But when it was time to register, pay their fees, then everyone pulled back. There was excuses about this, excuses about that. Okay, ideally, I would love to have a soccer program. When I first came here, I went down to Belgrade. I'm like, where's all of our soccer people? Half of Pahokee is at Belgrade. I went down there, and they was actually finishing up their league and passed out City of Pahokee flyers at that moment to try to get them to come here. It's a much-needed program. We can't turn our face to it. It's a much-needed program because everyone's not going to be football players or basketball players or even baseball players. And that's a program that we need to get back. I totally agree. But we've got to come together as a community. We've got to come together as a community, and let's not kid ourselves because, you know, if we're saying we're going to get together and we're going to run a league, let's get together and run this league. Don't say that, okay, now it's time for me to go to soccer, or the kids can't afford it, because our rates are pretty reasonable. We understand, you know, our culture here and what it's going to cost to play a recreational activity. So we're going to work with everyone. No one's going to not be allowed to play. So, you know, that was my take on that, Commissioner Mayor. That was my take on that.
Thank you, Mr. Osmond. And I'm gonna just reiterate this, and I'll leave it alone for this moment. I agree 100% with Commissioner Everett. All I was pointing out, forming a soccer league under the city umbrella won't happen overnight. And even if it did, say you was able to do it next week, you're still gonna have some problems with the scheduling. The main question here tonight should be, are you going to oversee the city normal recreation time for use of the field, extending them the opportunity to play 9, 10, 11 o'clock? That's the biggest question, because no matter what you do in forming a league, and I agree, a league should be formed. We should start that tomorrow, the conversation and getting to work on that. And I hope it happens within a week. I doubt it, but even if it do, we would still have to extend the time out there to allow them to play on it the time they would like. It would maybe a less liability, just a less, because now it's on the city umbrella. Now you have the insurance resources to cover any injuries or whatever may be happening out there. But you're going to still have that problem.
But didn't they only want to be there till 9 o'clock? So we're only talking 1 hour.
That's the question now, and I'm trying to put it before us. Do we want to, in the interim, extend the opportunity to allow them to play at 9 o'clock? Even an hour is a liability factor. No parks are open after that time. So it's just a question whether we are willing to make that type of decision.
Can I say one thing there about in relation to that? If a soccer league is established, at that point, you're not going to have any gripes from the football program. The reason that the football program would have a gripe for giving up their time is the fact that we have over 100 kids out there who have paid $150. If you establish that soccer league, at that point, they're legitimized and they're legitimate. Everything they're doing at that point is legit, and we have to accept splitting our time. The problem is, you have parents in this community. My cousin, who's a parent of one, and she's out there every day, she's very young. Her first argument was, I don't want to give up any of my son's time because my son I paid $150. At that point, if you guys establish a league, get with the commission, establish a league, then I swear to God, I'm a coach and I love these kids and I'm out here every day. We can start at 6:15.
That's
I'm
right.
okay with giving up an hour and a half, 45 minutes each day because I know your kids have done their due diligence as well and they have paid their money and you guys have established yourself with the city under the Parks and Rec umbrella. At that point, that's when everything is legitimized from the football program, the soccer program, the croquet program, it doesn't matter. But it will be a problem if we're having a split time and they're out there just having rec ball, free ball.
Okay. Can I make a suggestion? Maybe in the interim, if we could figure out a way to let them play, and then have them come to the city and set it up and organize this and do everything that everybody else does. In the meantime, they play for that extra hour, 1 hour, and they come and they set up this league. I see them shaking their heads. Yes, they would set up this league.
You would have to, again, you have to talk about personnel, logistics. You got to pay somebody to be there. So let's be cautious because you got staff that are already on the schedule of their employment. So let's be careful when you say let's keep it open extended hours because you're now talking about staff and logistics and pay.
No, she didn't say that extended hours. She was talking about the time you have already designated for them to play. 15 minutes.
Oh, well, as long as we're not going past 8 o'clock.
No, I was talking about at night so
You're
they
talking
don't
about at night
interrupt
past 8
football.
o'clock. And that's just,
Yeah.
you're not going to find staff to do that.
Yeah, because I didn't want them to interrupt football, so I was.
Yeah. But you got somebody already.
This is just something as a consideration for the commission to think about. This 9 o'clock thing won't run all year long. You have a real heavy season during football for September, October, November. Would you not be willing to make a concession when the two things run simultaneously to let it run a little later to 9 o'clock like they're requesting, and then as soon as the time crunch is over with, you can go back to your 8 o'clock and fall within that scope of time frame that you want. But we can't, we've only got so many hours of daylight in the day, and yet they could use a little night light at the 9 o'clock, but it's just for 10 or 12 weeks. I mean, I think that's a consideration for the community.
Thank you. We're going to let Mr. Wright speak, but after that, this is really, we got to continue in the commission format. This is not a workshop. We'll get the coach first, but I'm saying someone was invited up. That's all I'm saying. This is not that time to do that, but I'm allowed the other two conversations.
With that concern, I'm believing this here. A lot of coaches, they work. So by the time they get off of work, that volunteer is going to be like 5 o'clock. So that's a concern there. Again, with seasonal, like with the high school, they respect seasonal. I think also as that was a common ground there, it should be a common ground in our city. We can repair the field. We can use that part where the walk trail is. We can make that look nice and neat. And then after our season comes, they can come and use the field. So somewhere we have to compromise. Between both each other, and we both get to use the field. That's my point I want to use. We both be happy, and y'all feel the grant, and everybody be happy.
And we did say after regular football season was over, now they have more youth, more time.
Right. And they can have it all day long.
And one thing I do want to say that we fail to also acknowledge that our athletic director mentioned, even with the grass field, was rest, and not to completely dismiss both sides, not just for soccer, for football as well, both sides. Because he did mention in his presentation, and I know we sometimes we get the field, even when it was grass, needed rest, because of overusage. So I don't want us, when we're saying compromise, you know, and coming to a common ground, yes, we're not saying, no, you can't play on the field, soccer group, but also when compromise goes both ways. And let's not dismiss, number one, we need to deal with the faulty logic that the community on that side is unsafe. But let's not dismiss that other field. And I think that needs to be a part of the conversation because it's a part of the community and the field itself needs rest. And Mr. Osborne stated that in his presentation with regards to that field.
Allow Reverend White to make his comments there, and we can move on.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and commissioners and all the entities that are here. I continue to hear liability, and which is a factor. I just happen to be all-state champion from Pennsylvania in All-American and other sports. And we had a committee called Booster Club that helped pay because the school can get booster people to help pay the resources, okay, of the athletic system. And so what I'm saying to us is that, are we willing? Some of us may have to come out of our pocket with $100. You know, those of us. I was a basketball player, all-state basketball player in Pennsylvania, for a scholarship in it. But our people got together and they sold hot dogs and whatever to help in the insurance process because the school, which was a very wealthy area, a very wealthy school, this is what we need. We need some support in this area. So are we willing to come together as a booster club? Are we willing to do some hot dogs? Because I hear liability, and it's true, it's liability. Somebody get hurt, somebody's going to sue. Okay? I'm willing to give a couple $100, $500 to this soccer league. But is the soccer league willing to do some hot dogs and to support that? I see a field that's raggedy. Are we willing to, yeah, it takes money for those things. Let's get it together. I mean, we got a nice community in here. Okay? I'll put $500. I'll be the first one to put $500. My church will. Okay? But I'll put the well, they just bought me a brand new truck. So I go to them. But by anyway, I'm proud of it. I would have no problem with it because this is it's a great entity for us to have soccer because we have some people in soccer that make a lot of money. So we raise our kids up. So I most certainly won't have a problem with putting $500 to do this. I don't want to keep up all the time, Mr. Mayor. But my thing is, I keep hearing liability. I keep hearing this. The field is not in order. Let's get it in order. That's bottom line. Let's get it in order. Got a big field there.
Thank you, Reverend White. Okay. It's up to the commission now to put forth some type of motions that we can move forward. As a mayor, my offer was to have city staff work with the soccer team to try to accommodate their needs. And someone just mentioned earlier that it's going to be compromised on both sides. I think they have. Even the football team, some of their practice time now is being reduced by an hour and a half. That time is given to the soccer team. In the interim, I would have the city staff and the soccer team form a city league. Start working on that immediately. But I think the compromise is we have given ground, a lot of ground, to a team, a league that is not a formal league that has petitioned the city to use the field at no cost. And I think we have accomplished that. Is it a perfect system? No. That's something we're going to have to continue to work on. But I 100% agree that we need to form a league under the city umbrella that we can have both soccer and football equally represented and equally played. but the commission itself needs to make some form of a motion, whether or not disagreement that the city manager so far have provided the 5 to 6 and 15 clean time, 5 days a week, will be sufficient until we can work out a permanent leave. And again, if it happened overnight, so be it. But we need to work towards it.
Right now, Mayor, I don't think it was sufficient to, not to cut you off, but it wasn't sufficient as the time, because you hear some of the coaches and some of the parents were saying that they said they're not want to give up any of their time because they pay their monies. So that's why my thing is, I know we right now are in a crunch, that's why I was asking, I forgot the name, Esteban, and he shook his head, yeah, they're willing to set up a program under the city league. And he's shaking his head as yes. So, you know, and I think that's where our highway was going to, is getting up under the city league right now. Now, as far as the time thing, as for right now, I don't know how that's going to work right now, but I guess that can all be worked out.
Well, I'm going to let them talk, but the thing is that needs to be a time frame.
Yeah,
you've got football, you've got basketball, you have spring. Normally, in a community such as this, you don't have multiple uses of the program on one field and splitting up that time.
Mr. Mayor, that is why I'm saying we're finally at a point where we're not talking at each other. We're talking to each other. And so instead of just being so quick with motions, what I would strongly suggest, Mr. Mayor, this just coming from me, being that we are at a place of reaching agreeable terms, why can't we say, as city manager, you know, I know we're tech savvy. Do you have your calendar on your phone? Can you give? I don't want to tell your name, Mr. E. Can you give Mr. E time on your schedule in the next 28 to 48 hours? Where, along with Mr. Osborne, where we can sit down and come up with a plan to present and agree on.
Oh, yes, not a problem. I would love to explore developing a soccer league on the City of Pahokee's Park and Rec program, because with that comes a standard of play and a season. And it will probably eliminate a lot of the discussions of splitting time during football season.
And it will fulfill our obligations that we signed in 2004 in another year, with making sure that we're offering programs for all of our citizens in our community. But I think because we're at a place now where we're coming to agreeable terms, if we can sit down and really iron out, because there has to be give and take. There are some issues that we need to consider, regardless of, with that field, because you're having multiple usage. We want to be good stewards of what we've invested in, whether everybody was in agreement or not. And it has to be where both parties understand that we're going to have to give that field rest and utilize the other part of time field as well.
That's right.
On both parts.
I agree with that.
All right. So I'm all for starting the soccer league. That's the whole reason we're here. We want to do different ages, under 10, right, 15, 12. We want to do a whole bunch of different ages. These older kids, like the guy has a beard, but he's 17, right? So they're not. Right? These 17-year-olds can coach the little kids. It'll be great for volunteer hours. It'll be great for their personal training, leadership skills. We do that. We also want to do it for 17 and older, 15 and older, whatever, right? Adults, sure, they want to make it fine. February to May, or whatever that time was, that's okay. Like, we can start the league then. First off, we don't want to jump into football time. That 5 to 6, we cut their time, take that back. We don't want to cut their time. We're not going to be here during their football time. We're not going to jump into their time, so if that was 5 to 6, cut that back. We'd rather wait than to jump in on their time. We don't want their time. All right? With this whole field thing, right? I think I didn't explain myself well enough before. I said perception on safety developed by parts of the parents, not me, not them, right? It's the parents. And that's perception. We know that it's not. I've been to the park. If you've been active, I've been to the field. I went to the field. I went to the dude over there with the red shirt. We went to the field, right? We checked it out.
if the field is going to get fixed, right, we're willing to go out there. But as the field is now, yes, and last meeting, the goal was said to be regulation-sized goals. They're probably regulations for 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds. Because I can touch the top line. I have pictures, right? The field looks great here. We need to talk to that house owner because that window back there, right? We don't have the perfect shot. They're kids. They're practicing. But that goal and that window are in close proximity. Something needs to get back there before we go play. I told the kids, don't go play back there because you're going to hit that and then you're going to be in trouble, right? The street on the side of the road, which someone mentioned, that's true. It's about 3 feet. Right? And I have pictures about this. I went. It's about 3 feet. I told the kids, you're not going to go out there because you're going to run on that street. Just the time I was there, right? Just so happens when I'm taking a picture, cars are passing. Just so happens. So if it gets, as of now, when it means unsafe, it's not the area, right? The field is bumpy. If it gets wet, there's going to be injuries, right? If that house gets hit, these kids are liable. Right? So if it gets fixed, by all means, right? But you also have to take into consideration the measurements of the field. So the measurements of the field, you can see the little PVC piping, those are in the way. So if you have the adult one or older kids playing, those have to be pushed back a little bit. So if you see the cut or the grass goes right here, those are way in, right? So, and we can't move those. So those need to either be moved or put somewhere else, because that gets in the way of the actual field, right? So there's adjustments that have to be made. If you're asking us to just go out there and play in that stage, right? Honestly, with that house, with the road on the side of the street, with the road on the side of the street, right? With the bumpy field, because that was just a piece of grass. I don't know if that field was actually made to become a field. I think it was just a piece of grass that got kind of fixed. I don't know. I could be wrong.
You're wrong. It was a soccer field before. They just let it get away from them.
Okay.
That's why we are reducing the grass to plain size. I know exactly what you're saying when you say the grass is too high, and someone did. So we're bringing the playing level down to where it's amendable for playing. But there are some things, and I said this before. It's not new. In the last commission meeting, there are some additional things we needed to do to the field to bring it to playability form. So, and we know that, and we're going to be working on that.
Okay, let's wrap this up. I
think they just need a day.
I do think we need a motion to give staff the direction that we're asking them to go in. One is to immediately begin working with them to incorporate that program into a city-sponsored league.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't know whatever you want to.
I make a motion then that we instruct staff to sit down with Mr. Osborne and Mr. I love all motions. Mr. Osborne and Mr. Esteban and set this league up and have it up and ready and running by what, February is what you're saying? Is that when you said it started?
Whatever dates are best for you guys. But
I wouldn't want to put a date.
No, I don't put a date to it. Yeah.
As soon as possible.
Put a date on the meeting.
Yeah, we can put a date on the meeting.
On the meeting.
They said in the next 48 hours, right?
Yeah.
So they meet in the next 48 hours. That's my motion,
Okay,
and they resolved to put this league together.
I just want to make sure you're happy with the motion, because you can amend it to include whatever you feel is necessary to get the job done, whatever needs to be done. All right.
All right.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
There's been a motion by Commissioner Bolin and second by Commissioner Everett. Call for questions. Hearing none. Ready
Okay,
for
let me
vote.
say this. But ensuring that we have that meeting within the 48 hours to work out all of the ins and the outs, okay?
I don't know if 48 hours is going to be.
It'll be sufficient for me.
To work out all the ins and outs.
Well, we probably won't work out everything, but we can meet in 48 hours.
Because we used the word last time immediately, and we kind of backtracked on that and say, let's get this done as quick as possible. But
48 hours, they're going to have a strategic planning meeting to make sure that we can integrate soccer
into the
city offering so that we can fulfill a 15-plus year agreement.
That's right.
In additional questions.
We can use this.
Any additional questions?
Can you restate the motion just one more time?
Clearly,
For the city clerk, please. Okay. Ms. Commissioner Bowden, can you restate the motion one
The
more time?
motion is that we instruct staff within 48 hours to have a meeting with Mr. Esteban and Mr. Osborne and sit down and put this together so that the city has a soccer league and these kids can play soccer on this field out here.
Second.
That is.
Been properly moved and properly second. Call for questions. Hearing none. Ready for vote. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Boland,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Everett,
Yes.
Commissioner Hill,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioner. Motion
Thank
passed
you,
by
Jesus.
unanimous vote. Okay, that's take care of our old business. We don't have any new business. Point of privilege before we get to citizen comment. Lisa Wilson, representing McKinley office, she done left.
Yeah, she's not.
Okay. Another point of privilege. Okay, we're gonna move on. Citizen comments. City clerk, at this time, do you have any comment card completed?
Yes, sir. The first one is from Mr. Bobby Coven.
Mayor, it's late, I'll wait, but would you put the website on the agenda for next time, that we can get it updated?
That's good. Yes.
I don't think we need to put that on the agenda next time. I can give you an update right now. It'll suffice. The developers are still working on the website. There's a lot of content they're working on. I know I said that the last time. We've asked them what the deadline is to get it out to us. They haven't given us the deadline to get it back up. I know it's something that you're really paying a close attention to, and we're talking to them daily and trying to push them as fast as we can to get this website back up. So that is the most I can probably tell you today and 2 weeks from now, and it may hopefully, be up in the next 2 weeks because we're really pushing hard here to get this done by the end of the month. Yeah. Yes, sir.
In addition, comments.
Yes, sir. Next one is Ronald Batiste.
Might not be on.
There we go. I'm glad I had this opportunity to come and speak and just to voice the concern that I had. I am president of a couple of organizations that is in your community right now. One is Living by the Word Christian Fellowship. The other is Kingdom Economic Empowerment Group, and we have decided to come into this community to help other organizations that are here to be able to uplift people who are looking to better themselves. We have a program that we're trying to set up where we are actually going to teach business. We're also going to teach life skills. And then we're going to marry them both together so that, number one, the life skill will support the business knowledge in order for them to be able to make a better life and also produce right here in Pahokee. As you know that Pahokee will better from citizens who have better income. So my question, well, the reason why I'm coming here is we have purchased property, and the property that we purchased it in hopes to be able to renovate the building and then get this building suitable so that we can do the things that we have planned to do with regard to teaching. And we had a meeting, or rezoning meeting, we scheduled for the 5th, and for imagine the hurricane, that's the reason that I got that the meeting was canceled, but we have not received a date whereby we can have that meeting again so we can get the rezoning done. And it is my plea that the commission would consider moving this along as quickly as possible, because it is going to cost us money, funds that we would like to put toward our programs if we don't get this rezoning done and our renovation started as quickly as possible.
I've been talking with the county, and the county will not grant us our tax exempt status unless we are actually in the building, or at least, I've been speaking with them, at least have the renovations started. So it is paramount that we get this rezoning done, the meeting done, so that we can get started. So I'm asking if you would please consider and then get this rezoning meeting rescheduled as quickly as possible. I want to thank you for your time, and thank you for listening to me. I want to thank the people of Pahokee for your attention.
So, City Manager, that board is actually going to be hearing the rezoning request?
Yes, it will.
It's already scheduled for
No, it was canceled for some things, and we communicated with the owners of the property why it was canceled, and we're looking for an alternative date now for that ZAP board meeting. So I was, I was given that information a couple of days ago. We know it's a priority, but we're looking for an additional date. Some of the issues were availability of members. This is why that meeting was canceled. We lost one member to death, but we are looking for another date as quickly as possible.
Let me ask you something now. We are short 2 members. Are we able to, with a quorum still?
We're still able to meet. We're just trying to get them to meet.
Right.
We're trying to get one day that they all are available, and that's what we're working on now. So we're trying to move as quickly as possible with that. So.
And the ZAP board just meets as needed? It doesn't
As
have
needed.
a special
Yes, ma'am.
specific date that it meets on?
No, ma'am, as needed.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're working as quickly as possible.
One of the questions would it be possible to ask the county to contact?
No, they don't interfere with our zoning. It's up to us to do that. So we're moving as quickly as possible to have that meeting. Again, we're trying to get the members and get a date. Of course, once that date is secured, Mayor, you have to advertise that date legally to let the community know it's an advertisement as well. So we're working as quickly as possible to find a date that all the ZAP board members can meet, so we can then advertise it and then have the meeting.
Okay.
So, but we'll and as soon as we get that date, we'll be in contact with you.
And I would just ask the man if we could just get that, because I hear his heart, his passion in getting that done. I would ask if we could please, try to get that done as quickly as possible.
Okay. City Clerk, in addition to comment card.
Yes, sir. The next one is from Mr. Mark Miller.
Mark Miller, 190 North Lake Avenue. Ring light's on.
There you go.
Is it working now? I don't know if it was an oversight with the hurricane preparedness, although it was kind of slow the way it kept coming. But I noticed the flags were not taken down, and the state flag did blow away, I guess, when the hurricane is gone. But I'm hoping tomorrow, being September 11th, and I lost a lot of dear friends, I trust that the city's going to honor that and lower at least the American flag to half-staff. Mr. Mayor, can I have an answer on that, please?
I think we can do that without a problem.
Thank you very much. One other issue, 246 East Main Street, on Melville Boulevard, snowfall. This will be the 3rd meeting, so 4 weeks ago, I brought to your attention that something should be done with that building, on city-owned building, and it's deplorable. The windows and all the wiring on it, the mold, and all the landscape. And if the city's not capable of doing it, then the outsource. That's all. Thank you very much.
In addition to comments.
Yes, sir. The next one is from Ms. Joanne Culberson.
Thank you, ma'am.
The next one is from Ms. Linda Moss.
Bobby actually stole mine, but I want to make a recommendation. The city attorney and maybe it's clear, I guess, to all of y'all have to know about the income people, excuse me. And Chandler has been talking with them. I would highly encourage you to consider putting your mayor as the head of the commission in with that group so that you have a direct representative from your commissioners in with these discussions. I think the mayor needs to take a critical role in this and moving forward one way or another, and I would hope that you would consider that.
Thank you, Ms. Mouse. In addition, question? Comment?
The next one is from Mr. Joe Walker Wright.
My concern is...
Mr. Wright, to the mic, please, sir. Thank you.
Protocol has been established. My concern is that my family owns a tree on Martin Luther King Avenue. I mean,
Rotten Avenue.
Is that Rotten Avenue? Okay. And people sit up on that tree. I was over there a week ago, and I have a gentleman, the officer's name. And he was on the land harassing people to get from under the tree. And he actually said out of his mouth, well, this one I put in jail. Before I knew it, I had hit the man in the chest. And without realizing, he's a police officer, but you were wrong, sir. Number one, you stepped on this property without the proper credentials. You don't have no arrest papers or credentials to arrest anybody under this tree. Okay? They came back the next week and did the same thing. Now, I didn't know if the city manager or the commissioners knew of these things, were in direct contact with these officers. Or there's some people under that tree that do not do drugs. They're not criminals. Okay? And as I told the officer, I am a pastor, been a pastor for 40 years, and worked with the shepherd of the streets. Well, they hired me. 100 churches hired me to do street work, to save people, not to put them in jail. Okay? It's their job. If there's a criminal there, you must have the proper credentials to go and get that. You must have a warrant to go in there on anybody's land. I don't care whose land it is. You must have a warrant if you have someone doing irregular stuff, illegal stuff. And you don't have that. And so I didn't know if the city manager or any of the officers here was involved, because I may be talking to the wrong people. I may need to go to Palm Beach County police people, because this is very much a liability. You're going to step on somebody's land and you have the wrong credentials. And so my thing of it is that, no, it's not about, I'm not about, is there a police officer here? Yeah, I think in fact, are you the man that was, you were the person, weren't you there? Were you there under the tree pushing people? Okay, well, yeah, I think that he was the one. But by any rate, you up in there running people out of this, off of the church. You don't have the proper, well, my time is up. But yeah, I'll discuss it with you and your boss later. You cannot do that. That's illegal.
Thank you, Reverend Wright. City Clerk, are there in addition comment card?
Yes, sir. The last one is from
Last one, yeah.
Mr. Jimmy Kelleher.
Good evening, everybody, commissioners, mayor, staff. I'm acting as owner's rep for Living the Word. Mr. Ron Baptiste was just up here a minute ago. What he neglected to tell you was that he's a retired gunnery sergeant from the Marine Corps. So he's got a lot of respect coming from me. On June 11th, we filed a rezoning request with the city. All the paperwork was in, all the fees were paid. We were told be about 4 to 6 weeks, and that's about average. I waited 3 weeks before I started making phone calls. Have you heard anything? Did the city planner? No. Waited a week, called again. Have you heard anything? No, they're not returning my calls. Well, then the phone calls for me started every 2 or 3 days. The following week, they started every other day. And the week after that, they started every day. And I wanted to say, here, you call. So your staff gave me the number of CapGov to call and talk to them to find out what was going on. The response that I get from staff and I get from CapGov was, oh, I'm sorry. It's just taken a long time. At the town hall meeting, I met with city manager, and I tried to express to him my concern about the problems. He got right on the phone, sent a text message, he said, come and see me in my office tomorrow. Next morning, 8 o'clock, I'm there waiting, he's not there. I was told he's over at the marina, so I went to the marina to see him, he wasn't there, I came back and he was in his office. I said, would you please let him know I'm there? Message came back, go talk to Naomi Polanco. I didn't need to drive to Pahokee to talk to her. I talked to her every day at this point. I was looking at that point for some intervention from the employer of CapGov. So here we are 12 weeks now into this simple rezoning. 12 weeks. We had a meeting scheduled. I was all happy, excited. Everybody was dancing. 2 days later, all was canceled. So my request tonight is the city can approve it. CapGov's approved it. We're waiting on a non-existent ZAP board. So can you, as the commission, just approve it? And you're shaking your head no, they can do whatever they want.
No, you cannot supersede rezoning by doing a motion with the commission. That's against statute, sir. You can't do that.
Okay, then can you convene a rapid session? I mean, I know for the researchers, we're doing everything we can as fast as we can.
That's what I said earlier to the owner, that we're moving as fast as we can. He's shaking his head that we're going to get a date for the ZAP board meeting. As soon as we can get all of the members on the ZAP board to agree to a date to meet, we advertise and we get it. We know this is an urgency, and that's why we're going to work on it as quickly as possible.
Okay, we missed an October opening, and now we're going to miss a December opening. It looks like we may not even get to a February opening if this doesn't step up a little bit. Respectfully, I'd like to make a suggestion that maybe you schedule your ZAP board meeting so that all the members know when they're supposed to be there, and one's not wandering off here and one's not wandering off there.
That's what we did the first time, sir. That's why we're working to get another date that all of them can agree to. You're saying the same thing over and over.
I mean,
we're working to get.
Don't we have a ZAP board member sitting out there in the audience?
Yeah.
Is
Again,
it possible that we can facilitate you all to have a conversation? Because
no, the ZAP board just has to meet.
That's what I'm saying. They're volunteers. You can't dictate.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
and then after that, the hurricane came, and then they were unavailable. That's why I'm saying we're working on another date. We're moving as quickly as possible. We've said this.
I mean, where does it, when will it happen? I mean, if
when we get a date.
But are there any other options? I mean, if we know, if we know, okay, so how long he's supposed to wait?
Sitting here tonight, I can't give him that answer. That's what I'm telling you. Sometimes people want answers here tonight. I can't give him that. I said to the owner that we're moving as quickly as possible to get a quorum with all of the ZAP members. As soon as we get that date, we will announce it. They will know. We'll publicize it, and we'll have the meeting. But I can't tell you that tonight, sitting here tonight.
So, 12 weeks later, we're still back in.
12 weeks later, yes.
Hang on. So, you're going to figure out somehow to get another date set, and then we got to wait 10 more days after that.
Jimmy, your time is up, but we heard you, and we're going to make sure this is expedited as soon as possible. Staff have heard you, commission have heard you.
Yeah, I think somebody waiting 12 weeks to get that done is enough.
In addition to a comment card, City Clerk.
No, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we'll move to we have no new business. Now we'll move to the correspondence, comments, concerns of the city commission. Look, it's 9:30. I know I don't dictate to anybody. At a maximum 3 minutes. Hopefully you'll say, you know, it's been late. Let's go. But I appreciate the citizens' endurance. But we're going to get this done. We're going to start with Commissioner Hill.
Oh, okay. Only thing I ask is let's just make sure we just try to get some things completed and make sure we speak to the people that are trying to get things done. The soccer team, the guy with the that's Jimmy, Mr. Baptiste. Because I mean, we just I understand we have to go through the process. I get that, but if you're waiting 12 weeks and then when will it? Something has to happen. Now, we just can't continue to sit here and say, oh, it has to. No, something has to happen. He got to have an answer. And even with them when they're meeting with the soccer team, let's just please get some things done, because I don't want to come back to another meeting and then we go through this whole process again. That is frustrating. I'm sorry, it's frustrating. I know if I had to wait that long, that's frustrating. And I mean, people, you don't know the conversations, you don't know what's going on in the meetings. Let's just try to get it done, and just if everybody's trying to work together, especially with the soccer situation, let's just get some things moving and done and completed.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Bowman.
First, I'd like to say tomorrow is September 11th, so I know that's an important date, like Mr. Miller said. But if we could, can we all kind of look back and remember what we did on September 12th? Yeah, and on September 12th, we were one nation, one people. Everybody was worried about the important things in life, like family and that kind of thing, and just coming together as a nation. So please, let's think about that tomorrow and the day after, and can we please try to do that every day? I would love to see us have September 12th without having September 11th every day. There were some other things that I was going to talk about, but I did want to say that I'm very proud of everybody who came together and dropped off stuff, whether they dropped it off here or there or someplace else, to donate for the people from the Bahamas. And I think that it was an amazing time. I know I live over on Barfield. I think most of y'all know that. And my street came together wonderful. They helped each other. We loaned each other stuff. Everybody helped everybody put their shutters up and make sure they were good. And I'll have to tell this, even though I know it's late. My husband and I were putting shutters up, and the neighbor lady sent her little boy over to help us. And I looked at my husband and I told him, I said, well, we don't really need help. Thank you very much. And then I looked at my husband and I said, we must be the old people on the street now, because we used to be the ones who went to help, not the ones who got help. So, but it was very nice to have the whole street come together and everybody up and down loaning ladders and that kind of stuff. So even in the face of something horrible, and thank God we were spared, we did come together, and that's something that we can do every day in this city. And I'm happy to see that tonight the soccer guys and girls and ladies and gentlemen were all here, and that we are working something out with them, and that they are going to have a league. I'll be happy. I'm with, I won't say this in front of my husband. Hold your ears, Wayne. I'll be happy to help with some sponsorship myself, because I love soccer, and I would be glad to help with some of that. I can't do it all, but I'll do some, okay? And I don't have a church, so, but I think that's it tonight. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you, Commissioner Bowden. Commissioner Evans.
Good night.
Thank you, sir. Vice Mayor Mervin.
Hey, I just have one announcement, which I think is a very good announcement for the city. They're having many grants, and the Grace residents can pick up a copy of the Health and Grace mini grant application from each librarian in the city. The deadline to submit your grant is for September the 20th, and this grant is not just for businesses, the grant is also for residents. If you live in the city of South Bay, Pahokee, Canal Point, Belglade, you can apply for these grants, which is like a $2,500 or $3,000 grant. You also do it as a faith-based. And the only thing they're asking for is promoting health and wellness, storytelling, and developing and nurturing a participation channel, which I think is a very good. So anyone that wants to, that live in the city, that wants to be able to get a grant to help out your organization, here it is here. The deadline is September the 20th. I think that's about it. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am. Meeting adjourned.
Hey.